Dang. 10 people took my pawn.
Pawn's popular.
Guess so.
And your pawn literally saves my life by healing me.
It has shield. I don't know if you've updated. I have the upgraded shield on her. So you should probably go,
Yeah,
like,
she's level 6 now.
yeah. She has the upgraded shield and has the upgraded fire buff, so she is
And
utility.
my pawn is like level 17 or 18 now.
God, you're higher level than I am.
I'm just doing the main story, dude.
Rushing the main story.
Yeah, I'm not even rushing. I like missed my destination like 3 times. I keep finding like bosses.
Russian?
Like, I thought I
Rushing.
was like crazy ahead, and it's like, nah. Granted, I'm 16. I'm only slightly behind, but like,
Listen, y'all got lives. I don't.
He's not doing side quests.
Oh, dude,
I'm doing
being
side quests. It's just my side quests are like character development and don't give you XP or rewards.
I only get side quests when they talk to me.
And no one talks to you.
I know.
That means I can probably resummon yours, because yours is at level 13 for me.
Yeah,
I have APs as well, but he's like, it's level 8. It's like, well, I'm... Yes, I'll use the level 2. As long as I can rename him to Fresh Meat, then I'll just use him as bait.
My team against
Wait, I didn't realize you were playing Fallout. Fallout? Oh,
That's what happens after we fight.
like fresh meat and dog meat. They actually made dog meat a commander deck for the Fallout 4 Magic the Gathering Fallout. And I was legitimately tempted just for that.
I have a coworker that loves Magic, and he's like, he spent $800 on the Fallout series Magic cards.
Yeah. There's a reason why I didn't think about it very hard, but I can't say I wasn't tempted, right?
They almost got you.
What do you mean,
Damn.
growth? You're already old.
Like, you mean older and uglier?
Yeah.
It's a slope. We go up and then we crash down pretty hard.
Yeah, but I mean, women just get there before us, so.
Unless they're Asian. There's that like one yoga Chinese like woman that's like 72 that looks like she's in her 30s.
Working on your silver fox look?
Yummy.
Taste everyone can. That's where you go to get haircuts? Understand. Barb. If it ain't broke.
Ape.
Oh yeah, I can do a rank up quest after I'm done grinding.
Once you're done grinding, that's when the grinding begins.
No, it's not. It's when I retire.
Grinding begins when the grinding ends.
I'm gonna do some side stuff, but
Do the next nodes come out tomorrow?
Yeah.
The next day.
Yeah, well, long after this.
So tomorrow night.
Basically, because midnight East Coast, so.
Fun. Wear pants.
Who was that?
Fun.
Some dude.
Buddy that I used to know.
No.
Help.
Hello. Also, which beautiful person song requested this? Ah, Khadroth did. God damn. He's such a nice dude. With his amazing musical taste. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Hello, Zafir. How are you guys doing today? Rainy day for you? It was raining here as well this morning. It's been fine now, but like it rained basically like really early in the morning, like probably like 4 a.m. I woke up and heard it. And it rained all the way until like 10. Ugh. Okay, let me get the tweet out. We should be good to go. We had some interesting news today, by the way, chat. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the whole like Kotaku thing, but apparently their editor-in-chief quit because they're trying to force the entire Kotaku staff to write 50 new game guides a week. So it's not like a per individual thing, but it's like the staff as a collective must write 50 new guides. And I'm like, damn, that's wild. Because they already write guides. And so it's like they're actually like quitting in droves apparently over this. And I'm like, oh no. No, not Kotaku, the totally reputable establishment for gaming news. Certainly the world is doomed if something happens to Kotaku. Oh no, anyway, yeah. I laughed my ass off because I'm just like, just let it die, right? Like, I'm sorry. It's I don't have any ill will towards people, but it's pretty clear that Kotaku has been a shit rag for a while now. Ba-dum-bum. There we go. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Apparently I ate too much or too fast. Something like that. Oh my god, wow, that's actually the worst post I've ever seen Ko make. Anyways, the tweet is live. Go give it some love. Ko is railing on Dragon's Dogma's microtransactions, which are a absolute nothing. Like, like nothing burger of a thing that people are getting angry at. Okay. Oh no, it's all good saying, myself included. I've been going through a lot of motions as well. Here is today's artwork, guys. Go give it some love. And let me get it for you guys over here on the YouTube side as well. Gotcha. Hello, Opai. Hello, Kurumi. But yeah, like, so there's been a whole hullabaloo. You guys got to watch me play Dragon's Dogma some yesterday. The game is perfectly fine. I really like it. I think it's actually, like, really interesting for a design for a game. It definitely has some performance issues. I think those are totally legitimate criticisms. I think the criticisms about the microtransactions are completely illegitimate and basically being done from uninformed people. And the reason that I say this is because I understand microtransactions are bad. That being said, I think it's perfectly okay to offer an alternative to people that don't have the time or care to sit there and grind in a game and just want, like, items. And that's not even what's going on here. They're literally just providing people the option to buy something that is already available in the game, and in all of the cases, pretty much easily accessible. So people are getting really upset about microtransactions on this, and I'm like, this is absolutely not the battle you want to fight. There are plenty of other scummier games out there that people should be getting way more upset about than this. This is absolutely nothing. It's not going to at any point impact someone's ability to enjoy the game. And I do not understand why anyone is upset about it. And I just read Ko's tweet. He's completely wrong on the issue. He basically said that, oh, it's a slippery slope, and that people would obviously not put certain drops on certain bosses because the microtransactions exist. And it's like, no, he completely doesn't understand what these microtransactions are. So, like, and that's surprising to me because Code normally has been around long enough. Like, I assume he played the first Dragon's Dogma, so I think he's just trying to farm the internet outrage a little bit. You like gacha games? Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, right? I understand why people don't like microtransactions. It's just, this is not a scummy set of microtransactions, period. There is no reason to buy them. If you buy them, it is functionally an idiot tax. So it's like, that's how I view it, and therefore the people complaining about it are themselves also idiots, because they don't actually understand, because they're not playing the game or didn't play the first. I've seen a lot of people that have based their outrage on apparently, like, oh, well, the game is designed this way because of the microtransactions. It's like, no, it's not. It's designed in the same vein that the first game was. Like, none of that is different. So I don't know why people have that stance. I questioned their existence. Yeah, it's not like a huge deal breaker. Yeah, like I can understand people saying, oh, they shouldn't be there, right? But to me, while you view that they shouldn't be there, to someone that actually, like, wants to pay for that and doesn't want to have to go to the tedium of, like, dealing with it, I don't see any problem with putting an option there. Is it like pay to win? Sure, but it's pay to win in a single player game. So it's like you're just cheating yourself out of enjoyment if that's the case. And like I said, there are people that are like me that maybe they make some good money and they just don't have time because their job doesn't permit it or their family life doesn't permit it. And so as a result, maybe they just don't want to have to spend the extra time. I don't see any problem with offering them a monetary solution to the issue. Because again, it's still their choice. It's at the end of the day, these games cannot take your money from you. But to me, only gamers as a consumer are stupid enough to think that they are getting robbed by having an option. That, oh, how dare they? It's like, y'all should have been fighting this battle when microtransactions first became a thing. Not now. Not with this. This is just not an issue as far as I'm concerned. Just get mods to do the same thing? Exactly. Like, it's bad design? It's not even bad design. It's not part of the design. Like, it's just an option that exists. Like that's what I'm trying to say, right? Like, the game was not changed in any way, shape, or form due to the presence of the microtransactions. And bear with me for a second here, guys. Because I'm going to go to the store page here and show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So if we get on here, right? Let me make sure I can see on my end because I have no idea where we are. Okay. So like you guys can see all of this that is available, right? So let's take a look at it. The Explorer's Camping Gear. This is part of the Deluxe Edition. Soundtrack, Deluxe Edition. Harpy Lure Item, Deluxe Edition. Deluxe Edition. Deluxe Edition. Deluxe Edition. Like, that's all this is. This is all shit that exists in the Deluxe Edition for the most part. You got some extra wake stones. You have some extra rift crystals. And it's like, to me, all I view this is, chat, is do you want the things that are in the Deluxe Edition without paying for the full Deluxe Edition? That is basically like an additional $10 more. If you maybe only want one of the things, here you go. You can buy it like a la carte. I have no issue with that at all. Like, to me, that's actually kind of nice of them. Because I've already talked about this numerous times before. Digital Deluxe Editions, chat, they're so fucking worthless in gaming nowadays. Like, most of these are an absolute scam. So at least they gave you the option to basically go like, all right, well, if you only wanted the one item, there you go buy that instead. So, like I said, none of this will impact your ability to play the game at all. These are items that already exist in the game and can be gotten. And people are upset that they dared put an option for someone to pay for it in a single player game where your enjoyment of the game is not impacted by somebody else buying it. I don't understand that at all. Like, this is just gamers wanting to be upset about something. Like, it's actual just outrage. And you can see, so chat, they were mostly negative this morning. Oh, look at that. It's already bounced back to mixed. I think people are already waking up and realizing, oh, wait, yeah, this is actually a non-issue. And the whole reason I'm defending this, I'm not defending microtransactions. I'm defending basically what amounts to a witch hunt against a game that this is not the issue you need to be trying to, like, harp on, right? It's Twitter. It's 100% Twitter. And it's brigading, and it sucks. It should not be a thing. Could have the option been free? Sure, could have been. And like, that would be a thing. Although you guys need to understand that downloads are a thing, and Steam likely probably charges, you know, a developer per download. So naturally, if they're going to have stuff there, it's probably going to be a thing. I'm not going to say they couldn't offer it for free, but there is a like monetary cost involved with putting it all up. So I don't blame them for wanting a buck or two for that sort of thing. And again, chat, it's not like they're like, oh, pay $15 for it. Like, most of those things were $3 or less. I don't care. I think that's fine. Like, again, it's no big issue. It's people debating philosophy and downvoting a game because of philosophy. And I'm like, that's stupid. Like, let the game exist. Let it like continue on and judge it based off its merits. The microtransactions on the page may have nothing to do with the developers even. It might just be the producers trying to like make an extra buck here and there. I don't know. I don't care. Like, and that's what I'm trying to say is, you want to get angry at DLC? I got you, Holmes. I got you. Let's go back and let's go look at something. Oh, what's this? Europa Universalis 4. I love this game. Hey, chat. Y'all want to buy all of this? Y'all want to buy all this? And this is great. Look at the name of that one. Does this stuff add things? Sure. You want to pay for the whole fucking thing? Oh, chat, it's cheap. Why can't you afford it? Like, stop getting angry about the $3 totally optional, absolutely non-impacting microtransaction. get upset over scummy fucking prices and constant spam of these things. Get upset over day one DLC that was carved out of the game to make you pay extra money. That's what y'all need to get upset about. Not these. Never even heard of this game? It's a strategy game. I could go do the same thing on Stellaris. I could go do the same thing on a lot of strategy games, actually. We love Paradox Interactive. I chat. Okay, so that you're, for full transparency, any one of these that has a like blue line next to it is one that I've purchased. I haven't played Europa in a long time, but there was a point where I basically had everything. So, and that should give you guys an idea of, there was a point where I had everything. Look how much they've added since then, right? Isn't it the same company between Stellaris and Europa? Yes. But they're not the only companies that do shitty, scummy stuff. Like, shit, you want another one? Here, let's go to Creative Assembly, chat. Okay, I'm going to go to Warhammer 2 because it's got a lot more DLC for it. Now, in fairness to Creative, some of these are free LC. But, oh, baby. Rise of the Tomb Kings? Damn. That's a DLC that's been out since very early in Warhammer 2's history. And this is a game that basically came out not yesterday. Okay? Or, chat, let's not even talk DLC. We could literally just go to something like Final Fantasy. Right? And, okay, so there's actually a sale on right now. This is a rarity. Normally, Final Fantasy titles do not go on sale. And so what you'll actually see if you look through here, and I'm going to go ahead and spot the stupid thing the second I can. Okay, I have no idea what that is, and it says includes 5 games, but that's still, like, wild. Strangers of Paradise, chat, is still a $60 game. How long ago did Strangers of Paradise come out? Oh, it's the deluxe edition. That may be better. Oh, 2023. Okay, that's actually more recent than I thought it was. I thought it was 2 years ago. I'll give them benefit of the doubt on that. Maybe they've actually finally gone back through and reduced some of these. Oh, no, here you go. 2018 Final Fantasy Zodiac Age. This is the quote-unquote remaster for 12 where they actually got rid of some stuff. Oh, hey, chat, it's 60% off. It only costs $20. It's a let's see, at this point 6-year-old game, and it's still selling for $50. Like, this is the problem with Square. Square almost never discounts their shit, so they rarely ever give sales for it, and it stays at like maximum price for a shit ton of time. In fact, you can even see that the prior version of the Final Fantasy remake is still going for $70. And it's been years since the release. So that's kind of my point in all of this. Like, monetary value is getting lost as we just pursue greater and greater and greater profits. And it's not necessarily for, like, a better product in the end. You can get upset at microtransactions. You can get upset at DLC. You can get upset at companies never discounting their shit. But at the end of the day, you've got to pick and choose the battles that you fight. And I think it's far more important to fight the ones that matter. I don't think this one matters. I think this one literally impacts no one. No one is harmed by the microtransactions in this game. Nobody can't play the game because there's some shitty battle pass here, or like some sort of like crazy like microtransaction hell that the game is gimped unless you pay to win. It's just not a thing with this one. Anyway, sorry about that. That was a big aside there, but how much is Chrono Trigger? I don't know. You'd have to go look. Hello, Ern. Digital products remain high valued in part due to the lack of depreciation and shelf value. Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, it doesn't matter. There's still a virtual shelf value, and that's that if you're not a new release, then you're not state of the art, and you're not like the popular thing of the moment. Therefore, you can't really say that you have high demand. And if you don't have high demand, you need to adjust your price accordingly. Because the supply is still there. The supply is infinite. So everything in this market is a factor of demand then. So you have to look at that and go, okay, well, if that's the case, then if there's not enough demand, I need to lower my price until demand actually equalizes out. And they don't do that. And that's some basic economics for them. You got Train Simulator Classic, all the DLC. Oh, I'm aware. Yeah. Dead or Alive 6 and see all the DLC. Exactly. So it's like when pay to win combines with pay to play. Yeah. Like, and that's my whole point. Like, basically, there are plenty of products we will be able to get angry about with the microtransactions. I think it's important not to get upset over companies that are doing microtransactions well. Now, some of y'all are going to be like, oh, well, this isn't the example of that. If this isn't the example of that, what is an acceptable example in your eyes, chat? Because like I actually think these microtransactions are fine. I think there's no harm, no foul. Like, they're completely optional, and I think it's okay. Like, compared to, oh man, you know, that $25 horse armor, right? I blame the lack of Jetstream Sam in modern day classics. Indeed. Paradox even has the option to rent the DLC now. That's fucking wild. I didn't know about that. Yeah, no, like, I saw Paradox is apparently trying to come out with a Europa Universalis 5 now, and I don't think I'm gonna get it, because the big problem that I have with the Paradox titles at this point is visually they're not very stimulating. I like the fact that they're grand strategy, but the fact that they're not visually very stimulating, they just keep milking the ever-loving piss out of it for more and more with DLC, is why I just don't care. Like, I can find other games to play. I can even find other strategy games. It may not be as engrossing, but especially as I've gotten older and gotten more busy, I don't have nearly as much time to just sit there and waste hours away, you know, playing a strategy game. I love strategy games. I still want to play them, but grand strategy games especially take up a ton of time. But not for a $70 or $80 single player game. It's a $70 or $80 single player game, Strom. Why does it matter? Like, you can't be like, that guy over there's pay to win. He's ruining my enjoyment. Don't fucking buy it. It's that simple. And guess what, chat? This is exactly the principle I talked about all week of voting with your wallet, right? Like, you don't want companies to do microtransactions? Here's a novel concept. Don't buy them. You'd be surprised how then the company goes, that didn't work. Let's change strategies. Got to conquer Egypt for the 100th time. It ruins immersion. It doesn't ruin immersion. There is at no point an in-game shop for that. Like, you don't walk by the person going, hey kid, want to spend some money? There's no in-game pop-up for it. There is literally no in-game sign that there is a microtransaction. So it in no way touches immersion at all. They usually make the game grindier. So in this case, And this is where I think a lot of people are upset, and this is the wrong game to get upset at. If you're getting upset at Dragon's Dogma because they have the ability to buy fast travel stones in there, please understand the game is not designed to be harsh on fast travel because of the microtransactions. Because the first one's the same way. They're all designed that way. And that's the exact point to be made here. So it's like, it's a lot of people that are uninformed getting upset about this. Chat, imagine, if you will, and you don't have to imagine because this actually happened. Imagine Elden Ring 2 comes out and people just on the internet start getting absolutely upset and butthurt and complaining that there is not a difficulty scale, that they can't turn the difficulty down on that game. Imagine how fucking stupid those people look. And that is exactly how stupid people look, complaining that they require these items in game right now in order to fast travel, because these people don't understand. And I'm someone that didn't play Dragon's Dogma 1, and I guess I'm just more informed than those people are, because I even know that that's the case. So it's like, to me, it's the same exact thing. There have been people who said that, though. I know that was the point that I was making. Those people were equally stupid. Like, you had people that legitimately don't understand what like Souls-like games are about, that they are about the challenge. And if you're going to complain when you buy a challenging game that the game is challenging, it's your own damn fault, right? And I'm not talking about the person that goes like, man, fuck, that's way too hard. That shouldn't be that hard in the moment of them dying in the game. I'm talking about the person that consciously goes to Twitter and rants that the developer should have catered to their whims and totally changed the entire design of the game. And that, like, there should be an easy mode for them. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Use magic for easy mode. I mean, even magic, there are still some bosses that are going to fuck you up. If I remember correctly, the dev said they don't like fast travel. Yeah, it was a thing in the first one, though, too. And they literally said, like, we don't like fast travel because basically we want to, like, put everything in the game and make it an exciting and fun game. And that games that have fast travel are largely because they make their worlds boring. And I agree with that statement, wholeheartedly. The whole reason that you fast travel in a game is to save time. Why do you need to save time? Because the trip back is not engaging. Why is the trip back not engaging? It's because they didn't put anything new in it, right? Like, it's the same old, same old. So, and I'm not going to say that that's not going to be the case with Dragon's Dogma. I think that's a little bit of their hubris showing, but because like some of the reviews that I've read have said, like, you know, after a while it gets tedious that you always have to kill your way to and from locations. But yeah, I mean, I think that's at least understandable that they at least put stuff in where it's like, yes, there can be like random things that spawn or happen to you in the middle of you fast traveling, in the middle of you trying to navigate to a new place. So yeah, I think that's good. I think that's actually good design. And I think more games should try to do that exact sort of thing. However, if people play and buy the game more than other, couldn't it change other companies' view on DLC? No. I think at this point in time, chat, every single game in existence and every single studio that makes it has a stance on DLC. Like, you're not, like, it's preformed. You're not going to change anyone's mind with that. And well, yes, if this game sells well, could that turn heads? Like in the same way that like Baldur's Gate 3 did? Sure. But literally, I don't think it's going to be because of the DLC. It's not going to be because of the microtransactions. Like, you have people literally sitting here telling you that, like, it's not a thing. I even saw a streamer today memeing on the Twitter people because what he did was he put in the corner of his screen a like dollar value spent so far during the run. And at the end of like a fucking 8-hour stream, it was still at $0 spent. Like, kind of sitting there proving the point that's like, yes, this is just absolutely not essential. I don't have to spend any money. It's not a pay to win game, right? Horse Armor is best DLC Oblivion. You know, and it's really fucking hilarious because everybody got super upset over the Horse Armor. But the thing that I ended up hearing from a lot of people is that, like, I guess while everyone did get upset, it also made them a shit ton of money. So that's why, like, they kept doing it. And not like they learned their lesson and they made DLCs more appropriately priced after that. But like everybody else saw how successful they were with it and said, I'm gonna do that. And that's what, like, that's the argument that was at play here is like, will it make other studios go, hey, maybe I should do that too? Other studios already do this. Like, this is not the first time we've seen this sort of thing. And as far as like DLC and microtransactions goes, this is probably the least offensive use of it, in all seriousness. It's like, there's nothing here that's actually a problem. Pays to get SSRs, right? Yeah. Stupid Horse Armor was the beginning of the end. Yeah, to a degree. No, I disagree with you entirely, Strom. I think the performance issues have nothing to do with it. That while people have cited there being performance issues, everybody and their brother that I saw on Twitter today was just bitching about microtransactions. I saw barely any mention of performance. So, like, that's the problem. And again, I'm going to say, so far I have no issues. So far, okay? So we'll see. I have not gotten to the capital yet. The capital is where I have heard things bog down. So we'll see how it impacts mine. Maybe we'll make that the goal is to try and get to the capital tonight. I don't know if I'll have the time though. From Ashes and Leviathan from Mass Effect 3. Yeah. Ultimarie, let's go. Indeed. Single player character save function. Yeah. But here, so allow me. I saw the exact same complaints, Avalon. Allow me to categorize this for you, because you can sit there and say that, but that makes it sound like they were all equal. So let's see. Single character and save file issues. I saw like basically like 1% on that. Performance, I saw like probably somewhere in the realm of like 15% bring that up. And microtransactions, I literally saw 90% of complaints bring it up. Like, that's the entire point. Like, yes, these other things were brought up. No, they are absolutely not the thing that everyone is talking about right now. Like it's 100% microtransactions. Like straight up, everyone just cannot let that thing go and are just like dick riding it. And that's why I said, like, a lot of it's just misinformation. People don't actually understand, and people are getting upset to get upset. You can get upset over microtransactions. These just are not like actually bad microtransactions. They don't impact the game in any way. You see her ascensions have a weight difference? I did see that. It was really funny. I like how FGO doesn't charge Saint Quartz for skins like Arknights and other gotchas. You know, a little bit, and I've said this before, that I would actually prefer that they did start charging money for skins if it somehow helped the game, like, return to form. I don't want to see them charge more money out of us, but I think I'd be okay with them going like, hey, maybe if we need more money to hire more people, that's a thing. They shouldn't, though. Like that should not be the cause. And at the end of the day, I'm just going to say that they need to figure out whatever their employment situation is. And we're going to go over the article here in a minute. If I can get into the damn node. Chad, anyone have an MLB of a 4-star on a Koyanskaya? They're bad MTX, but not bad MTX. No, I disagree. And this is why I'm saying this, chat. Like, y'all have got to learn. You're doing yourself a disservice if you can't be fair and objective on things. Like, basically, you can sit there and say all MTX is bad. I get that. I think that's a fair statement. But you have to state that, like, blanket wise. You can't go, well, this is bad, but this is worse. That doesn't work. You have to at least acknowledge that this is in no way, shape, or form harmful to anyone, and that it's totally optional. And that's just that. When it's a completely optional thing, I have no issue with it because I don't have to spend the money. You don't have to spend the money. And if someone wants to spend the money, that's their choice. Like, why should we take that choice away from them? I have no issue with that, right? So that's my point in all of this. It's being fair, and it doesn't matter to me the game that it's in. So it's the same thing where I've called out like battle passes before, right? Battle passes at face value are technically not a bad thing, but the vast majority of companies handle it in a scummy, shitty way. And the reason why is because it's technically not bad if you just have a battle pass where you've got a premium version and a free version, and they functionally give out very similar rewards. And the premium version is just more. I think that's pretty fair. What I don't like are the battle passes that go, hey, there's a premium and there's a free, and at level 1 you get a free item. For the next 10 levels you get premium shit only. At the 11th level you get another free item, and then for the next 10 items you get premium only. Like, that shit's just absolutely stupid. That's scummy, and there is no reason to ever buy such a battle pass as far as I'm concerned, because the game does not value you playing, it only values your money. It only values you constantly injecting the money into it. It also has no impact on your normal game experience. Yep, that's 100% the argument. I don't mind buying DLC for a series I love. I like giving those devs my money. Exactly. And that's the same thing. It's like, you should support the games that you want to support, but also please keep in mind where you'll find a point where it's like, oh, I'm just getting milked. The company is just making me spend way too much money and they don't care about me. It's not about like providing a good service to the customer. It's instead just how much money can they steal from the customer. So I completely understand why people are upset over microtransactions existing in general. I just don't see an issue when they're not forced upon me. When the gameplay is not like being changed to force me to buy them. I think that's perfectly okay if it exists completely outside the realm of it. How would you implement a battle pass in FGO if you had to? I literally will not answer that question. Because I have at least had hints that at certain points, some of the localization staff may or may not have watched my stream. And in no way, shape, or form do I ever want to be complicit in giving them an actual good idea for how to implement a battle pass into this game. If that makes any sense. like, it's basically like, nope, I don't trust that it won't somehow backfire. But no, I mean, like, just in general, if you're ever going to implement a battle pass, you just need to make it like fair to the free to plays and the paid players, right? The premium players. Because if you do that, it's at least showing that you are valuing the free to play player for still playing the game and that they still get rewards. And I'm going to say this again. One of the better battle passes I have ever seen so far in gaming is Genshin Impact. I still think it sucks that it exists. You should not have to pay it. And while the battle pass is extremely fair, remember what we just talked about with, like, hey, the game is not altered in Dragon's Dogma. Like they did not change the design in order to suit the developers' desire to sell microtransactions. Yeah, that's not true with Genshin. The economy in Genshin is absolutely like strangled so that you feel the need to buy the battle pass 100%. And so, like, yeah, no. Even though the battle pass is designed well, the rest of the game absolutely incentivizes it, and so I don't like it. Master Duel has the best battle pass I've ever seen in games. Yeah, see, I've never played Master Duel, so I couldn't say what that one's like, right? But a fair battle pass would just be one that rewards both sides of the equation well and doesn't impact the overarching game's design. Make all Saber Faces battle pass exclusive, dear God. Wait, devs see your streams? No, but like I have no physical proof of this, but I definitely have some anecdotal proof that certain things that I have said have gotten like taken care of on NA, and I at least have one instance of Albert seemingly taking a shot in my general direction. Like, again, I'm not gonna say if they don't, it's no skin off my back. If they do, it's no skin off my back. I don't care either way if they do or don't, but there at least has been some circumstantial evidence that seems to indicate that at some point, some intern or something has watched my stream. So it is what it is. Does DD2 at least have fairy stones? Yes. Yes. So you can easily buy it free to play, and you get much more out of it than you put into it. It's very easy to max too. Yeah, I think that's also a fair way to do it. I think my issue overarching with battle passes in general, regardless of anything in that regard, is that a lot of battle passes to me, also like, holy crap, this is just the shittiest draw of cards that I've had. I'm just going to send it, and we're going to hope that it results in a 4 turn at this point, because we already delayed a turn. But the thing that I don't like about battle passes in general is the whole concept of a battle pass is designed to keep you playing the game. Okay, so remember that concept that I talked about the other day about designing a game well and having it stand on its own 2 feet? That is the epitome of why you basically can't trust battle passes, is because a lot of the time they are just really designed to kind of chain you to the game. They don't trust you to keep playing their game. And so instead they want you to like have a reason to have that FOMO so that you can't ever not play. You must always play the game, or else the developer has failed in their eyes. And that's because, again, just the whole like intrinsic pursuit of money that's pervasive in the industry at this point. But like I said, I think old school games didn't need battle passes because they just knew that like if a game was made well, you would come back and play it even after you set it down. You'd go like, oh man, I really want to play that game again. Nowadays, most games, I think either it's sort of like a chicken and egg scenario. I think they both realize that like a lot of people just move on and never revisit games. But I think it's also a case of them going like, maybe we should try to keep them here so that we get more money out of them. So I think part of it is that the games are not designed as well, and the other part of it is that the games are just straight up trying to get more money out of you. What up, CZ? All battle, no pass? Yeah. If they have fairy stones, then I could care less what they add on top of the shop. It's fluff for spenders in my eyes. Yup. There you go. And see, like, again, Essay, I can tell you've played the first game. You understand what's going on with this. There's so many people on the internet that are arguing over something and they're not even playing the game. They don't understand. Like, I'm not someone that's going to sit there and say, like, you can't have a stance on something if you're not, like, involved with it. But I am going to say it's a clear case of, like, misinformation and people jumping at shadows. And so people don't really understand what's going on here. And part of that's, like, it's the Twitter, like, people's fault because they're whipping everybody into a frenzy. But that's typical Twitter users, like, BS, because it's like, oh, I'm going to make a mountain out of a molehill and I don't actually even understand what I'm talking about, right? Just out of topic, you move your eyebrows a lot when you talk. What are you talking about? Why would I ever move my eyebrows a lot when I talk? Yeah, sometimes I do. Usually when I'm getting really animated. Those aren't eyebrows? What do you mean? See, now I'm going to do it on purpose just because I know everyone's looking. FGO is 7 to 14 battles a day, depending on event or dead week. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no, don't get me wrong, right? So, like, gacha games are live service. Live service games are 100% exactly what I talked about. Trying to, like, force you to play their game, trying to tether you it with FOMO, and making sure that you can't ever do anything other than play the game. That's 100% the entire goal of them. That's why live service games are a thing nowadays, is they want to keep providing updates for sustainable income. A lot of gaming, so that you guys understand, is like, imagine, chat, that this is like a 10-year scale or something like that. And let's say in year 1 you get a new game, in like year 3 you get a new game, in year 6 you get a new game, and then like in year 10 you get another new game. That's like four games in a 10-year period, right? I want you guys to understand what happens to revenue during this time. This means you get no revenue basically in between, or rather it looks probably something like this. Okay, where things just like trail off. So the problem then becomes, instead, if you're dealing with that same 10-year scale, you have the first game and it sells really well, but basically trails off really fast. You have the second game and it just does not sell well, but maybe it's like a cult classic and it has like some steady like staying power. Okay. And then you have the game that sells well and it actually like continues to sell well basically throughout time until you get to the next release. And then maybe you also have the game that just doesn't sell well at all and is not a cult classic and they make no fucking money off of it. Revenue sucks in those scenarios, and it's very hit or miss. So this is exactly why they did live service games, because in live service games, revenue is constant. It keeps coming in because of subscriptions, because of battle passes, because of microtransactions. So this is why you see so many of these games nowadays, is because it is much smoother earnings for the company. It allows them to easily keep the lights on and fund their other projects. So it's why like every single major publisher out there, or major studio even to that degree, wants a live service game now, because it just makes cash flow so much easier for them. They have a much more stable and reliable source of income, and they don't have to sit there and wonder if they'll have enough money for the next month to keep the lights on, or to not have to fire someone, right? Think it's possible to reach 300 boxes in one account? Yeah, I mean, I did like over 100 boxes a day. So like, it's absolutely possible. It's starting to flop now for many AAA games. Look at Suicide Squad, Skull and Bones. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say it's starting to flop. I think that's a misconceptualization of the issue. Like, yes, they flop when they fuck up, but not every AAA game flops, and not every live service game will flop. I think it's just a case of bad design will always flop 10 out of 10 times, right? Like, and I think that's brutally apparent when you get a game like, for instance, Skull and Bones, where it's like everyone literally just wanted multiplayer Black Flag. That's it. That's all anyone wanted. And they were like, oh, they want the ship combat. And they did not put in any of the like on deck combat of like being able to jump over to another ship and swashbuckle with people and take it over. So they completely missed the mark. They did not give the consumer what they wanted. And as a result, no one gives a shit about it. Yeah, that's going to happen. Did a zombie survival game with Will Smith died and no one heard of it. I did see that today. I hadn't heard of it either. So I had no idea. But yeah, so it's like you'll get AAA flops. You'll also get live service flops, but not every single one of them is gonna flop. Because at the end of the day, chat, I want you to think of your favorite IP. Maybe it's Fate. Maybe it's Marvel. Maybe it's Star Wars. Who knows, right? I don't care what it is. But now imagine if you had like the perfect live service game where they just kept pumping content for your favorite IP over and over and over again. You would want to play it. And that's the entire crux of all of this. It doesn't matter. People will still keep playing live service games because people have way too much time on their hands. Not everybody does, but some people do. Gumminess Entertainment Index, yep. Yeah, I do agree with that though, right? Like, so the more scummy a game is, the less likely you are to play. The more entertaining a game is, the more likely you are to play. So there is basically a like intersection of these values where you go like, hey, I like to play this, but if it gets scummier, I'm not playing. If it gets less entertaining, I'm not playing. I don't know that I would call Monster Hunter World perfect. Having recently played it quite a bit, I would not call it perfect. But at least in the sense of like the actual live service, sure. Like I think it was done well. FGO can have new players cycle through as long as whales stay. Yeah, I agree with that. Also, what the fuck? Like, I have several people on my friends list that actually have it. They're just not showing up. Yeah, small independent publisher, right? Why the successful games don't do that? I think in some degrees they ponder it, but they can't do it. Either because they don't know how or they don't have the resource capability or technical expertise. F, do you have any sort of streamer program? No, I wish. I actually wish. I've been streaming this game for like 6 years now at this point. It would definitely probably like curtail some of my opinions on things where I would be a lot more polite on certain things. But I don't think it would make me not criticize them at certain points in times. But like a big chunk of the reason that they probably don't want to do any sort of relationship with streamers is because of that exact point of like, you can't really control streamers and they will like absolutely like trash you if you mess up. The thing with this sort of thing is it definitely would buy them more goodwill and streamers would be a lot more likely to give them a pass or to try and defend them if they actually felt like they had received preferential treatment from them. But yeah, it's actually decidedly anti-streamer. Just be a VTuber? I mean, even being a VTuber is not enough. You just straight up have to be a like HoloLive VTuber. Ina's been streaming FG almost weekly. I mean, that'll end. And the reason that'll end is because Ina will run out of approved content and she'll have to get approval again. They barely have devs. Yeah. Hello, Gil. How's it going? That is Jap and Chinese company? Wait, what do you mean? Guess who's broke? You. Thank you for the CE bomb video. It was really helpful. I just started in January. Yeah, no problem, Josh. Feels like I jumped in at a good time. It's definitely a good time because NA is getting to this point where it's kind of going to start slowing down a little bit. So it'll actually be really easy to catch up because you'll have plenty of time to do so at certain points. Seeing a lot of 4 stars, no 5 stars so far. So if Alan, if you're only doing the initial roll, you cannot get a 5-star from the tutorial roll. If you actually like go beyond that, like you do the tutorial roll and then you roll again, the second roll could get it. But like the very first roll that you do, that the game forces you to do, you cannot get a 5-star from it. Despite what people claim. Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. Yeah. No, I mean, I've been part of the Genshin streamer program back when I was playing it. I've applied to be like a content creator for many things, including Capcom. Capcom did not accept me. Full disclosure. I say they did not accept me. I don't know if they rejected me. I just have never heard from them. So maybe at some point I'll finally get an email back. But it is what it is. But I thought to myself, yeah, we had Dragon's Dogma coming up. I've covered Resident Evil before. I'm now covering Monster Hunter. So, like, kind of makes sense to see if I can get into the Capcom creator program just for that. But I tried summoning from the gacha, didn't get AUO. I have nothing. Understandable. Have a nice day. Okay, chat. How much quartz do I have? Go for it. Don't roll? Oh man, you said it too late. Why didn't you tell me before? You could have stopped me. Okay. New 5-star C. I actually haven't looked at that, so I have no idea how good it is. Yeah, right. Time to make chat mad. Chat will only get angry if I get the thing of my desire. I don't know if she has one, Trash. They see me rolling, they hating. Exactly. But yeah, if you're already done with LB5, Josh, you're doing really good. I got Marie Alter, but I shouldn't have. What did it cost? How deep am I planning on rolling? Probably not that deep. But I figure I may as well try some. Hassan of the Twink? No, it's Shiny Hassan. Y'all have a weird obsession with fetishes. Imagine being crushed by those massive honkers. Listen, I just want to say, haha, I was right to everyone that ever said that we weren't going to get Marie Alter. Chat is secretly Twitter? No, they're not, because if chat were secretly Twitter, I would get a lot more likes on my posts. I see Cat is rolling. Exactly. As is expected. I am gonna laugh if I get, like, Marie Ryder. If chat was Twitter, there would be more bans? Probably. I still think they took too long. Oh, I agree with that. But apparently they had been planning this one for a while. Did I compare Shiny Star to Panther Man? I did. And I have to apologize, I did not get the videos out, chat. Partially due to the fact that I had planned to get the Marie one out today, and somehow I re-uploaded the Tesla video a second time, and not Marie's video. So like, I don't know how that happened. And by the time I realized it was too late in the day. Everyone who voted for the Requiem collab for Marie Alter realizing their vote was wasted? Yeah, all two of them. You see John's special animation against Jill's yet? I did. It's I even retweeted that one. Which is how I know y'all aren't Twitter. Got ya! How deep am I going? My pain tolerance. Remember they had Roland on the bench for years? Yeah, they said Roland and Calamity Jane were two of the longest, like, in the oven. Same thing with red hair. I see Jolter slap animation, though. I did. Isn't your tolerance the highest here? No, my pain tolerance is the lowest on JP. Hello, Ingora. How's it going? Finally got my second copy of Odysseus. Nice. Yeah, like I think we finally get Gigacoil tomorrow. So I'll probably try to cover that with you guys on Monday. And then I probably need to do a what's next on in a chat Sea Monster Crisis. I probably need to do a Sea Monster Crisis video. Not gonna do Good Coil. Yeah, I mean I don't blame you guys if you don't, right? It's a again, do what you want to do. If you don't want to do it, don't force yourself. Wallet Kun chilling in JP? We'll see. Does your sub goal go up if the sub is not shared? I don't know. I've never tested that. Like, assumedly, yes. But I actually need to like sit down and like work on the sub goal stuff again. I've got a lot of stuff I need to do for the stream that I just don't have the time to do it right now. Like, that's the problem with like tax season, is I basically don't get off work until 6. I turn around, get home like a little after like 6:15, deal with the dogs, try to grab some sort of dinner, and like sit down and eat. And usually by that time it's already like 6:40 or something like that. So I get like maybe a half hour to like just vegetate, and then after that I go live. And if there's anything that happens in that time that is suboptimal, it just delays me. Moldy, thank you for the 2 months. A lot of fun with Megacoil. I mean, it's nice to do some of the CQs. Like I said, I don't hate the CQs. They just take a long time in some cases. Are you a CPA CAD? Yes. Unfortunately. Because that seems so good for a couple of the Gigacoil. I don't know where to use her. Yeah, pick whichever one you would find the hardest, right? Final MC max a little on JP, nice. I got NA's Mystic Code to 7, I think, before I tapped out here, so not doing too bad. Is that a permanent one? I didn't think that was permanent. But I guess it is. I'm assuming your favorite breed of dog is Husky. May I ask why? Because I own 2 of them. I've always liked Huskies. Hello, Aniko. How's it going? Chat, that is my pain tolerance. I gave you guys 3 multis. Still nothing. I don't want to, like, waste my supply. You know what? Fuck it. I'll give you guys the paidless single. Yeah, I'll give you the YOLO solo. That's it. Yeah, you got nothing. You got old man. Doggo's very calm on stream. It's because they know the routine at this point and they just go to sleep. It's hilarious. They used to be a lot more active. But chat always wants to see them, so that's why I leave Doge Cam on. Okay. Chat, let's talk about the interview. So, basically, there is an interview out between Kanoku Nasu and David Young. Trubs went over this. I even did a quick like Twitter summary for everybody, so if you guys want to see the TLDR, it's there. But I did want to like briefly go through it with you guys and give you guys my 2 cents on some of it. It's at least a somewhat long read, but it can be done pretty quick. I'm just using Google Translate, so everything's not going to be word for word accurate. Please understand that. But again, I'm going to try to keep it at a somewhat surface level reaction and analysis to it. So basically, again, Nasu is obviously lead writer. He's basically the founding member of Type Moon and sort of the creative director, if you will, of the entire game at this point. David Young is, I believe, lead producer for Honkai Star Rail and has worked on several other Hoyoverse products. So essentially, this is a meeting of the minds. It's a joint interview between the 2 of them. And it is heavily hinted in this interview that there will be a collaboration between the 2. We don't know what, we don't know why, we don't know how, but there is a heavy hint that it is a thing. So basically says, I want to ask how to create a living feeling that everyone can enjoy. I'd like to hear a little bit more details about how to create a managed title. I think both titles value the live feeling of stories being updated in real time, but how do they create the sense of unity amongst users? Nasu says, regarding the live feeling, I think it's more about determining the timing to make FGO the most interesting game. Actually, is this is the 3rd page. Hold on. Let me go back to the 1st page. Oh, don't do this to me. Stupid pop-ups. Stupid Japanese pop-ups with their inability to click the X. Okay, here we go. I love Fate series and Type Moon content. That's what David Young, the producer of Collapse Star Rail, says. See, again, Google Translate. It's Honkai Star Rail. Apparently, David came into contact with Type Moon works such as Fate Stay Night during his adolescence and was greatly influenced by his activities as a creator. It is true that Type Moon's works will cause trouble if they're exposed to adolescence. So, again, we have several points at which I feel totally fucking vindicated by this article. Things that I have said on stream that people have given me so much shit for, and this article proves them to be true. I'll talk about that as we get in, but yes, a major influence in David's sort of creative liberties is Type Moon and Nasu's works. This time we're able to have a conversation between David and Kanoku Nasu, the creator of the Fate series and Type Moon works. As a fan of both titles, I can't help but feel a sense of surprise. Really, this is a special conversation that truly transcends borders. Moreover, Nasu has actually been playing a lot of Hoyoverse titles, such as Genshin and Honkai Star Rail. Wait, did you play Honkai Star Rail? Seriously? When does Nasu-san play these games? Nasu talks about the interestingness of Hoyoverse titles, which is a must-see. David's influence from Type Moon works, how to create the story and character designs from Honkai Star Rail and Type Moon's works, and how to prepare as a creator to give form to what you want to draw. Although it was truly a dream conversation, we also heard a lot of interesting stories. This is a wonderful conversation that can be enjoyed by both Honkai Star Rail players as well as Type Moon fans and masters. And those who are fans of both, maybe you'll have a dream and even greater than this conversation someday. Please watch till the end. So again, really heavy hinted there. So basically it starts out saying this is actually the first time Type Moon and Hoyo versus met. They say, thank you for the time delay. Getting back to the original question, why did David decide to have a conversation with Nasu at this time? Personally, I was exposed to Nasu's works when I was young and was inspired by his works in many ways when creating games. Actually, I had met him once before, but I thought it would be great if we could have had a deeper interaction, so I set up this conversation. Thank you for your continued support today. So the thing that they're referencing is apparently, and they'll say it actually later, apparently there was already a, like, official visit, and that's kind of interesting that this is a continuation of that. There's one thing I want to tell Nasu-san. I actually had the same birthday as Nasu, and Nasu is surprised by this. David basically just said that when he was in high school, he was searching up the profiles of creators and realized that he had the same birthday as him. Nasu says, perhaps one of them has been reincarnated from another world. I feel an extra sense of intimacy. Thank you very much. I just briefly mentioned this, but have you met Nasu-san and David once before? Mr. David said, actually, I previously visited Type Moon with Mr. DeWay, who is the president of our company, aka Hoyo versus president. At that time, we talked about various things, including our thoughts on the work and how the company is run. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall of that conversation. I would have loved to have heard what basically MiHoYo, who definitely runs a fairly tight, like, well-organized ship, thought of Type Moon and how it is run. Because, dear God, at least with how FGO seems to be portrayed, Type Moon is not getting run well. So we'll see, but again, that would have been an interesting thing for me to see what they actually thought. But again, he says, that's right, I once had the opportunity to meet everyone from Hoyoverse. David and I kind of hit it off at that time. To some extent, I expected Hoyoverse would be a company full of people who love games and are driven by that passion. But what I heard back then was it was more than it was expected. The creator's passion plus rational corporate philosophy. Yes, it's only natural that this company becomes big. I talked to Trebs about this right before stream, before he had to go to bed. And we both kind of chuckled at this, that like Nasu straight up is both like praising Hoyo here and also like low-key calling out seemingly either Type Moon, Lasingle, or Aniplex. Something is going on here that he's just basically like, kind of like, oh yeah, they're such a well-oiled machine. And I'm like, huh, why do we not have that? Well, I felt a sense of closeness to the company's origins, because again, he's the inspiration for a lot of their stuff. I also became a target of admiration and respect, thinking there are people who used love as fuel to accomplish things that we couldn't do. So again, really interesting where he's like, we couldn't do this. And I'm like, huh, that's kind of wild. So, like I said, maybe the translation's not perfect there, but that seems interesting to say the least. And from talking with Trubs, it seems like that was the intent. So I was surprised to see there was such a connection between the two of you. By the way, what exactly did you talk about at that time? Mr. Nasu says, that's already a national secret. And everyone laughed. Again, this is already in the article your second hint of a collab. That there is something that they have discussed that they cannot talk about at this time. Whether or not it is a collab that will happen on the FGO side or the Honkai Star Rail side, or maybe both, no one knows. And what form it will take, it might not even be in-game. It might be a writing collaboration where maybe Nasu writes something for Honkai Star Rail. Who knows, right? I couldn't tell you, but it is an interesting thing to say the least. I can't get into specifics, but both companies were in a good way in existence that cannot be ignored by each other. So, anytime a Hoyoverse stan tries to tell you that FGO does not matter, you get to throw this back at their face, saying that, yes, even MiHoYo went on an official visit to Type Moon and was so interested that they could not ignore each other. So, like, this is still, to me, an absolute refutation of a lot of the stupid shit that I have seen over the years. Also, I had a lot of things I wanted to say about Clay. This is actually Klee, right? Oh, is that Klee from Genshin? A friend of mine is a big Klee fan, so again, Trubs is joking that apparently Nasu knows him. Because if you guys don't know, Klee is voiced by the same VA that also voices Dechi, which is, again, Trubs' favorite character in FGO. He has always loved Klee and has been playing Genshin, but he lamented that Klee never gets stronger. So I said to myself, ask the Hoyoverse people when Klee will become stronger. I'm not sure we'll be able to meet your expectations, but I'll let the Genshin team know as well. So this is also really interesting because especially if you guys know anything about Genshin, you know that Genshin never buffs anyone really. So like it's funny to see that he's asking for it because this is a concept that is prevalent in FGO, like buffing people. MiHoYo doesn't really do that, so it's really kind of funny. Yeah, like no ask when Klee mom, Nasu talks about the fun of Honkai Star Rail. I had heard beforehand that Nasu has been playing a lot of Hoyoverse titles, but I guess he's been playing them quite a lot. That's right, I'm also holding off on Honkai Star Rail until the PS5 version comes out. Recently, though, it did, and so I've been making progress little by little. After all, it was a long-awaited command-based RPG, and as a gamer myself, I was looking forward to it, wondering what will come of Genshin. However, when I saw a friend of mine playing Star Rail on his PC, I thought to myself, stop giving this away for free. LOL. I'd have to talk to Trubs about the actual translation of this, because it's not 100% like coherent here, but like... there's so much I could say about this. One, the fact that he also seemingly asked the same question that the entire Genshin community is asking, like right now, like what the fuck is happening with Genshin and why are you guys only caring about Star Rail? And two is the fact that like he seemingly has the time to play all of this, which is wild. But you know, we'll get back to that here in a second. So Nasu says, actually, I'd played Honkai Impact the Third. And found it a bit difficult to play on my smartphone. I like the direction of the action because, again, Nasu he's a huge Dark Souls fan, so he clearly likes action games. But the swipe controls on the smartphone didn't really suit me. I was thinking, I wish I could play this action game on a consumer console someday, and then Genshin came out. Partly because of this, I've been playing Genshin since the day the service started. At first, I was arrogant and thought, what kind of content will I be able to show you that is based on Japanese otaku culture? Or rather, I started playing with a mountain perspective. Yo. I have no idea what that's necessarily supposed to mean, so I'm not going to try to guess too much there. Little by little, with each passing day, the passion and technology that was put into the game, and above all, the dream of I wanted to play in this kind of world was packed into the game. What has long been a pipe dream in otaku culture is being made into a reality. I looked up to the heavens at his strength of action and high level of perfection and said thank you, basically. At the time, I saw Hoyoverse's slogan, Tech Otaku Save the World, and realized these people were serious about what they said. Nasu might be an idiot, chat, if he believes a company's slogan represents everything, because, well, that's just not true nowadays. But, you know, I'd say at least over in, like, the eastern portions of the world, it's probably more true than it is here in the West. Is there anything you would like to tell David while you're playing Honkai Star Rail? I've only progressed up to Eurillo 4, and again, I don't think it's actually Eurillo. Someone would have to remind me, because I think that's only like the first planet or two, so I can't really say much about it, but as expected, the basic concept of Honkai Star Rail is based on the premise of continuing for a long period of time. I think the worldview setting is very solid. This is something we kept in mind when launching Fate Grand Order. Be sure to prepare the settings. It's true that RPGs can express an infinitely expanding world, but there should be a proper framework for it. So again, this is Nasu saying, yeah, you could just make FGO go forever, but it's stupid to do so. You need to make sure it actually like stands on its own 2 feet and that the premise makes sense, is what he's trying to say there. The setting of Honkai Star Rail is perfectly determined. When I first played the game, my first impression of this is well thought out setting for a managed title. It's really funny too, because I've actually talked about this basically, like Rail Zeppelin and a lot of this is probably like a huge influence for Star Rail. And like it's kind of funny because this is him patting them on the back, but it's almost like him reaching around and patting himself on the back for like, oh, good idea, me. in a weird way. Mr. David said, thank you. At the time of launch, Honkai Star Rail had a policy of continuing operation for a long period of time. For example, the characters that appear in, and chat, forgive me if I butcher this, Pinokuni, which is players' visit in version 2.0, are all included in the story of version 1.0, and their appearance was hinted at and prompted prior to release. Y'all remember when FGO used to do this all the time? And remember how they, like, have stopped kind of doing this some? Like, they still do it some, but there are a lot of characters that seemingly now just kind of come out of left field, as opposed to before we had a lot of like lead up and hints at every single character that would come out. We still have some of that, but it's not to me as prevalent as it used to be. This work has been designed with various ideas in terms of a clear, expansive story and the structure of the world view. It's a space opera to begin with, so while we state at the beginning that there are various planets in this world, we're also wanted to create a dramatic setting with the first space station, Horta, and still maintain a high level of game quality. Show off, really, show them that you can do this. Everyone laughs. Nasu says, from there we'll present systems such as daily quests and a social game. So he's describing, like, Star Rail and its setting and the initial like inception of like how it feels to play it, right? They will present systems such as daily quests as a social game. He then jumps straight into the main story of Eurilla 4 and tells the player, look forward to the next planet. I think that this game has been created very neatly. So he's saying like they did a good job with the initial onboarding and like getting you hooked. It's a beautiful fusion of looking ahead as a story and entertainment and looking ahead as a game system. That's why I felt like everything was thought out. If you make a mistake in the setting, the user will be left wondering where this game will go. However, Honkai Star Rail had none of that. I'm sure there are skills and experience gained from Hoyo versus past titles, but I feel like this title started with a solid lineup. So I thought, yeah, I'll do this. If I weren't so busy, I'd be playing for 4 hours a day instead of just 1 hour a day. I want to catch up on the latest stories. So at least it seems like Nasu is not just degenning in Honkai Star Rail all the time, chat. He's not one of you. He's apparently only able to play like an hour a day. That being said, I have to admit that one of the annoyances that I have with this interview, because I actually do really like this interview overall, but one of the annoyances that I have is that this comes across as a massive like promotion for Honkai Star Rail. And I'm like, part of that is because Nasu just like heaps praise upon them, and where David, on the other hand, will heap praise on Type Moon, on Nasu, and on Fate. David doesn't play FGO and doesn't talk at all about FGO. So it's not a like equivalent exchange to me. It's way more gets said about Star Rail in this. On the other hand, I would like you to ask David, do you really like the Fate series and Type Moon content? So they turned it around. And he just goes, of course, I love it. I think I first learned about Type Moon's work through the internet around 2004. At first, I was just a based fan who thought Saber is cute. But I was shocked by the characters and worldview depicted in UBW. So the man got hooked on Saber and he stayed for Shiro. It had a significant impact on my outlook on life. Even when I'm doing my current job, I sometimes use ideas and ways of thinking that I got from UBW. It may be strange to say, but I intend to continue the theme of love and justice that I learned from that work in Honkai Star Rail. Hey, are any of you in chat a MiHoYo fan? Have you ever argued with me at any point in time about Honkai Star Rail or Genshin Impact characters looking similar to Fate characters? You were wrong. And I fucking love that. I am completely vindicated by this article. And if you think this doesn't do it yet, oh boy, keep reading. So, Mr. Nasu, I see. That makes me happy. When we started planning for Honkai Star Rail, and the topic of discussion was, what story should we create? We didn't have a concrete image in mind, but we did say hero was the only image in my head that I wanted to tell a story about. The hero images that came to mind at the time were servants and characters that appear in the Fate series. Still with me, chat? There are parts that were influenced by characters, after all. Another influence is the idealistic attitude of the work as a whole. As the company grows in size, there comes a time when it becomes necessary to consider profit as the standard. However, even in times like these, I think it's important to reconsider, what is my ideal? Of course, profit is important, but I try to think about my own inner needs and various options other than profit. In making decisions like this, I often think, what kind of decisions would I make if I were characters from the anime I watched when I was a student? That's why I love Archer and Stay Night. So I often think to myself, what would Archer do in a situation like this? Chat, CV. What's CV? I'm trying to remember. Like, I think he's meaning like VA. Character voice. Thank you. Yeah. The character voice, Junichi Suabe's cool voice is whispering from behind David. With that handsome body. I understand that struggle all too well. Profit as a managed title and uncompromising integrity as a creator are always issues in development. So this is Nasu saying all of this, right? David now says, fortunately, Hoyoverse's experience so far has proven to some extent that even if you choose idealism, it will bring long-term benefits. I don't believe that's a wrong choice. I'm not sure what like Masu here means, or it may be something else. Or maybe he was trying to say Nasu. I have no idea. And I think many of our users have come into contact with such works, so I'm sure they will understand. Huh. Are you saying that many Honkai Star Rail players know of Fate and maybe have played Fate? Shocking. This can also be said for us, but we're not selling the character's performance. Of course, there's nothing better than having good performance, but I also want to place importance on the character design of the inner self, as well as emotions the player gets from that character. So I want to be clear here, and this is something that, in a weird way, it seemed totally innocuous when David was saying it, but it's like almost completely damning when you think about it. David basically said profit is a huge reason for how they design a character, and that they try to still input their ideals into the character. Nasu comes back and basically says, yeah, of course, profit's a good thing, basically, but like, what really matters is the character's design and their inner self. It's kind of like them saying that for FGO, they don't design characters for profit. They design a character to be coherent and cool and interesting. And then they just turn it loose, and if it makes money, it makes money. Which is, I think, the way to do it. I think that's better than trying to design something to make money. It's, we want the character to be good from a story and design perspective versus, but we need this character to make money. So it's like, it's not the end of the world, and I think it should surprise no one that a gacha game is trying to make money off of its characters. But I think it's at least a big reason why a lot of the Fate characters, even in FGO, still shine through so well. It's because there was no like dollar amount that was thought about when they were designing the character. They just wanted the character to be that way. And I think it really does show in a lot of cases. The first thing to do is to decide whether or not it will help you, the user, in your life. Personally, I've always thought that's what we, and Hoyoverse, have in common. When I actually heard what was said, I thought that's true after all. Mr. David said, I'm very honored. I was a little curious, but what exactly is the, quote, love and justice learned from Fate that David was talking about earlier? That's also a story about Archer. To be honest, when I first saw Stay Night, I thought he was a cool guy. But when I came into contact with UBW and learned about his heavy past and quest for justice, it had a tremendous impact on me at the time. So even though the internet likes to dunk on Shiro and say that he makes no fucking sense, I need people to understand that Shira resonates with a lot of people, and Twitter is stupid at times. I also really love Lancer Ku. I felt that the way he protected Rin, even though Father Kodamine told him to kill himself, Lancer was very manly. So at that time, I thought, I want to be a person like Lancer. So that's David saying that. And then Nasu comes back and says, well, then if the president of Hoyoverse told you to harm yourself, this man basically just made a suicide joke in the middle of all of that. Also, chat, I would like to call your attention to this. This is a promotional thing for Clara from Honkai Star Rail. If you're not familiar, you're about to become very familiar. When I heard there would be this interview, there was something I really wanted to ask. Are Clara and Svarog an homage to or respect for Ilya and Berserker from Stay Night? You hear amazing things, don't you? Yeah, I agree, Nasu. You hear amazing things. David says, I can't say that I didn't use it as a reference, LOL. So again, this is now the third time David just straight up admits that yes, Fate is absolutely a reference that they use. They look to it. They are inspired by it. Their works are derivative of it. So people can try to gaslight me all they want and tell me that I've been wrong in pointing out how similar some of the designs are. It is absolutely not a coincidence. And I even said it back then. I'm like, you pretty much have to be hiding under a rock to assume it's not the case. This proves it. Straight up, straight from the producer's mouth. They 100% use it as a reference. And it has been used multiple times. Like, I don't know why people thought it wasn't. And I'm going to say this, chat. It's not the end of the world that they do it. I think it's actually cool. I think it's a-okay to take things and use them as a reference. I have more respect for them admitting it than trying to hide it. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the thing that pissed me off more than anything are MiHoYo fans that try to deny this bullshit because they're just completely in the tank. And I'm like, I understand y'all want to hate on Fate, but this is absolutely true and has been a thing. So if you hate on Fate, it just makes you a hypocrite. All of your designs practically come from Fate. It's pretty clear. And so at that point, I don't understand these people. They just want to shit on Fate just to shit on Fate. They cannot stand the singular game that they know and love, that is Star Rail or Genshin, possibly having derived something from something else. It's just wild to me. Hence why Kafka is so lookalike to Shisho. Yeah, I think aesthetically, a lot of the designs are very similar. Not every design is. And at least story-wise, I think they come up with different stories, different themes for the characters. But it is pretty clear that they go for certain archetypes. Like, again, chat, let's take a look back at Clara here. This is Clara and her robot Svarog that protects her. Ring a bell? Like, it's literally Ilya and Berserker, straight up. This is as freaking close to you as you can get as possible. They didn't even change the hairstyle or the eye color. They are the same damn thing. So it's like, people will sit here and try to deny this crap. And I'm like, how? How do you deny it? Not only is the actual story theme in this case similar, but the design is actually super similar. And people will still sit there and try to gaslight you and say it's not the case. And I'm like, what do you mean? Are you blind? So, like I said, I have no issue with it other than people trying to deny it. And like I said, I think it's cool. I actually really like that. Himiko Face and FGO. Yeah, like I said, to me, at the end of the day, I like that Nasu's works have inspired somebody else and they are willing to admit to it. I got to give David major props for that, right? Okay, so anyways, after all, there is romance in The Girl and the Mighty Being, And when you think of this combination, many people probably think of Ilya and Berserker. I try to create new and unique characters by referring to things that everyone likes. I agree, it's something that otakus love, and I think it's a classic design that has been tested through trial and error in various works. It seems like there's always one for each work. So this is also Nasu admitting that he himself has done this at times. Fate itself is also derivative of other ideas and concepts that have been floating around the otaku fandom and really just anime and storytelling in general for years. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and say that Fate hasn't done this exact same thing, but I also don't deny that it has. So that's my only issue with these people, is that they try to deny that this is the case when it's pretty clearly got a connection. Like, and the example that I've used before, chat, is let's go ahead, let's take Tamamo in Fate, and let's take Yaimiko in Genshin Impact. And you go and tell me that those two, like, are not somewhat connected in design. They both have the same origin, like, legend that they're based off of. But two people can look at something and think, well, I want to make a character based off that, and they will come up with wildly different designs. So how then are the designs so similar? It's because Fate came out with its design, and Genshin Impact looked at that, referenced it, and made it as well. Like, straight up. I don't know how anyone can deny that. That is 100% what they tried to do with it. Yeah, it's not pure coincidence. It's, we actually just straight up took that. It would be like saying that Pal World did not, in any way, shape, or form, take inspiration from Pokemon. That is the level of stupidity that some of these people would argue. Period. And it's like, you can argue over the legality of it. You can argue over whether or not they should have done it. But it's pretty clear that absolutely they looked at Pokemon when designing their pals. So at the end of the day, I just don't understand how people can deny something that is like right smack in their face. And I get that it's probably because it challenges their worldview. The Matrix is a Western example. Yeah. Isn't the difference between Ye and Tamamo is that Tamamo is based on Chinese mythology while Ye is based more on Japanese mythology? No. Tamamo is based off Japanese mythology, off the character Tamamo. like it's actually a character from Japanese mythology, right? Ye Miko, if anything, it's still probably derivative of that same myth, right? Like, but the whole point is, again, like, you could have come up with a different design for a fox girl, but when your fox girl looks, talks, and acts a lot like Tamamo, and even does the stupid little fox hand symbol that Tamamo does, it's fucking obvious. I don't understand how anyone ever denied that one. Like I said, people just had to be blatantly biased to deny that. Okay, so anyways, that's the end of this page. This was the end of the first page. Let's go to the second one. It should get faster from here because, chat, I'm not going to spend all this time talking about everything in this. So how to face the problem, I don't know if it's really what I want to draw. So I think there are many users looking forward to the story of both Honkai Star Rail and the Fate series. I would like to hear about this method of keeping users interested and motivated with stories. David says, it's true that the title I previously worked on, Honkai the Third, was also a title that focused on story. Combined with Star Rail, they have continued on a path that is conscious of the story. As for what I'm specifically conscious of, this is also a story of love and justice, again. When creating a story, I think most people start by thinking to themselves, how can I express love and justice in a story? And then solve the problems that arise one by one. I don't often write scenarios myself, but one of the scenario writers for Honkai Star Rail has been with me since I was working on Honkai the Third. Just then he was working on Honkai the Third. He was having trouble creating the scenario. However, his scenario was already highly complete. And again, when they say scenario, chat, I assume they mean like either event or like story chapter, right? His scenario was already highly complete, and there was nothing I could point out. At that time, the advice I gave was, is this really the story you want to tell? Is that really your favorite character? It's important to ask yourself these questions. Therefore, when creating a story, I think it's important to ask yourself whether or not it is what you want to express rather than the technical aspects. However, I'm not a scenario specialist myself, so I think my ability to create scripts within the development team is at the bottom of the pack. Basically him saying I'm not a good writer. David then says, when I first served as a producer, I thought that I should be able to check every aspect of the scenario in detail and control the whole thing. But as he started working with more members, he realized that he should have more faith in their abilities. Even if you are the only one who wants to fix this, it's only a matter of personal preference. And if I want to create a work that matches current times, I think that a scenario writer who is younger than me would be able to create a scenario that resonates with today's young users, including their sensibilities. What do you think about that, Nasu? So that's right. I think we should keep in mind the creation of scenarios that suit the times and catalysts. But apart from that, we also value the user's motivation. Specifically, it means preparing a mystery in the story. I think there are all kinds of mysteries: the mysteries of the world, the mysteries of the characters, the mysteries of the theme. But in the end, no matter how interesting the story is, it's a flat world. If it's a flat world with no danger or anxiety, do you want to read the story? I said, well, probably not. There are certain questions that I can't help but wonder about. I believe that users have something that they want to clarify, and the desire to clear up the unknown points and clear things up is what pulls their concentration. Of course, an interesting worldview and characters are necessary, but if that's all there is to the user, once they get to know the world and the characters, the story ends there. And this is why I think like so many RPGs nowadays feel flat, is they don't do the writing portion well. So even if they come up with a cool setting or a cool character, if you don't write it well down the stretch, it's just gonna kind of be lackluster. The story ends there, yeah. So as David said earlier, there are no mysteries or questions. If you don't like the character, it's over. After instilling a sense of curiosity and a desire for knowledge in the user that makes them want to read the story to the end, the drama revolves around each character. I believe that by doing so, I can naturally attract interest. I think it's partially because I like mysteries, but it's something that everyone does naturally, so I don't think I'm being too big on myself. It seems that mystery had a big influence on you. Nasu says, in my case, I wanted to write something beautiful on top of that. That's what happened when I was unknown. However, when I say beautiful things, I was simply admiring the words. I want to write beautiful things. It took me a long time to realize the answer to the question, what is beautiful to me? I believe that Kanoko Nasu, after 2010, accepted that what something beautiful is for Kanoko Nasu and thought, let's keep this form at the center of myself. What is something beautiful to you, Nasu? That's right. To put it simply, it seems that the people and their state after the accomplishment are what I respect most. Earlier, David talked about asking yourself if this is really the story you want to draw, and Nasu worries about, is this really the story you want to draw? Is there one? Nasu says, I think I probably achieved that with Kara no Kyokai. So from then on, it was just inertia. This was the only talent that I have, so I have to make a living with this, she told herself. Although he said, I want to write something beautiful, he was just clinging to those words. Since then, as I've gotten older, I've become more able to accept many things with open arms. However, there is still a sense of rivalry. While I was in limbo, I realized that in the end, making other people happy is what makes me happiest. I'm sure that there are people who are happiest when making other people happy, and I think most creators are like that. Your heart is important, but so is service, I think. The artistry and the cry of the soul will come out on their own eventually. So for now, I just need to make everyone happy. David said I also had a similar experience to what Nasu was talking about. And he's just talking about, like, at the end of the day, he needs to try to, like, make people pleased with the story, I think, and that, like, that's what's going to make him the happiest is when other people are pleased with the story, right? For something like a novel which ends with one's own creative activities, in the end, one just has to face oneself to create the work, and that's the end. On the other hand, creative activities that take place within a large organization, such as a game production, require you to look at people other than yourself. So basically being a novelist versus working on a video game. At the time, I think your state of mind will be questioned, and the way you view what you want to do will change. By the way, Nasu was worried. Did he consult Takeuchi? Nasu says, if I had done that, things might have changed. I wanted to show Takeuchi my perfect self, so I forced myself with an attitude of, I'll do something great next time. Lately, every time I have a meeting, I feel free to say things like, it's tough, I want to play games, I want to eat delicious food. I could say a lot about that, but I'm not going to. Is that so? This is because I feel that relationship with the scenario writer that David mentioned earlier is similar to the relationship between writer and editor. I'm curious to know how you were able to expand your creativity when you were stuck as a creator. Nasu says, at times like these, it is the works of other competitors that expand our creativity. No matter how cold my heart is or how much I want to quit, when I see something good that someone else has made, my competitive spirit flares up. I was like, that's so fun, I should try it too. And I think that's what happens. It's like, people watch a movie, they read a book, they play a video game, and that inspires them to do something that is similar, to try their own hand at it. And I think that is a big chunk of creativity. It's not that it's bad to derive things from something else. It's you have to put your own unique spin on it. And I think that is something that so many good creators do. It's not that the idea itself is wholly original. It's that they twist it in such a way that it has never been seen before. And that's what makes it really fun and engaging. If you continue to use yourself as firewood, you'll eventually burn out. I think we need rival firewood to burn longer and hotter. David says, as a creator, creating a virtual enemy is quite important, isn't it? The feeling of not wanting to lose inspires creative activities. Even if you try to think about it on your own, there are times that you will end up not being able to create what you want. At times like that, I see amazing works by people in the same industry and decide I'll make something that's as good as them. The difference in story creation between the two, what does it mean to set up a game? I would like to continue to ask about the story in the case of management-type RPGs such as Honkai and FGO. I think the combination of story and system is important. I would like to ask the two of you about how to put it together as a comprehensive game. David says, regarding that, we made several mistakes at the beginning of development. He gives a bitter smile and says, initially, separate teams worked on the story and game design. As a result, the overall construction of the game did not go well and we struggled. To solve this problem, we adopted a method in which scenario writers and system developers met once a week. For example, when the system side makes a request, we want to release roguelike content from now on, the scenario side responds by saying, well, how about this kind of story for that content? So that they can effectively interact with each other, I will do. From there, we spend about 1 to 2 months trying to align understandings of both teams. Once we have both agreed on our ideas, we will decide on the steps and move on to the formal content production. I see that's how new content such as Simulated Universe is created. David says sometimes it starts with a plan from the system side, like a simulated universe, and sometimes new content is proposed from the scenario side. For example, Clock Trick is content that began as a suggestion from the scenario side. I want to write this kind of scenario, so I want this kind of system. There are also cases where a system is derived from a story. On top of that, I believe it is important to understand each other's work, even if we are on separate teams. Have the scenario writers play the game thoroughly and understand the game's system. I also make sure that the system developers not only learn about programming, but also watch anime. That's awesome. Chat, imagine being in a job and having a mandatory you must watch this amount of anime like this week. I mean, maybe it'd be like torture for some people, but I think that would also just be really cool. Where it's like, yeah, you have to do your homework. You have to go study this cool thing that you probably already like. And then it's Nasu's turn, and Nasu says, FGO is not a game with such a complicated system. Damn, that's damning. So we have decided that on what we can do in terms of development. That's why every year I think about how we can show what we can do in FGO in a different way than usual. It's a bit of a long time ago, but back in the early days when we were about to launch FGO, Nasu said to me, and I assume that's a translation issue there, please explain to the development team what kind of game FGO is. Of course, it would be boring to talk about the detailed settings there. What I explained was, first of all, there are 7 chapters. I will state the goal is to clear these chapters. Within the basic premise, we will do various things. From the user's point of view, it presents the endpoint that says this game has a goal in sight from the beginning. However, the inside of this big box is still empty. Once you've decided on the seasonal events and featured characters that will be packed onto the main story box, narrow down the ambiguous parts and create one big story. This is the general method of making FGO. Actually, we did the same thing for the Stay Night project. I think the biggest reason why Stay Night was so popular is because we announced at the beginning there are 7 classes in this game. And we lied. What does that mean? Nasu said, just like FGO, which presented 7 stages at the beginning, it tells the user from the beginning there are only 7 classes in this game. This was also a response to the Japanese entertainment of the 90s that I was exposed to at the time. In the 1990s entertainment, strong enemies basically appeared one after the other. And as long as it's popular, that pattern will continue. Of course, that format is fun, but from the user's perspective, there's no end to it. That's why by creating a clear framework of 7 classes and 7 singularities at the beginning, users can feel an ease with the world. Once they feel at ease, we solidify the world, which is full of gaps, with what is in season at that time and make it look appealing. In a sense, this may be a common feature between Stay Night and FGO. David said this kind of thinking exists in the Chinese game industry as well. It is said that a game will not work as a managed game unless the user first decides what they want to play during a certain period of time, from daily to weekly, which is called layering the gameplay. Nasu said, and since it's a managed title, we also decide on the annual schedule for FGO. This part was interesting. We decide on a rough schedule looking about 3 years into the future. So it looks like they do their schedule. Like, it's not that they don't have plans beyond this, but it looks like they do their scheduling. Actually, like, planning, here are going to be the dates for these things. Basically, for 3 years into the future. And then decide on a title of the event that will be held within the framework. For example, once you have decided on a Valentine's Day event to be held in February of the following year, you can then decide on which servants to implement. However, this is a prediction 3 years ahead. To be honest, we don't know what we'll be doing in 3 years. It's concerning. That's why we ask illustrators who look at us and think, this person will be alive a year from now. So basically, when they're saying this person will be alive, he means this character will be in the game a year from now. Would you like to draw a character with this kind of setting? After the design was finalized, I spoke again with the scenario writers from there and decided on a concrete scenario plan saying, if this is the kind of character we want, then this is the type of story we should tell in this event. So again, characters not only are their own whole unique creations, regardless of profitability, but they are also what probably dictates event stories. So it is first the character, then the event is written for the character, rather than the other way around. And I think that's actually really interesting, because it's character first, and it really shows throughout all the years of FGO why their characters are so well beloved. Including these series of steps, we will decide based off the schedule. This most important thing in this cycle is avoiding doing the same thing as much as possible. Unless you're doing the same thing, unless you're doing the same thing, it's always fresh. At least within the game. In a sense, this is a simple policy for continuing to run managed titles. The illustrators participating in FGO were selected based off these criteria, so what kind of instructions or requests do you give the scenario writers other than that? First, I will explain the general story to the writers who will be participating in FGO and say FGO is about this kind of theme, and this is the punchline at the end. And then I will ask everybody to do the rest. It's the shape. As long as you keep that general framework in mind, the main chapters can take advantage of each writer's individuality. Conversely, in the case of event quests, we make use of gameplay and provide exactly what the user wants. We ask that you write something that is meaningful according to the shape of each scenario. Of course, each writer has their own unique characteristics, so it's impossible to completely unify them, and sometimes I'll say things like, this setting is perfect, but the storyline is too good, or the storyline is really good, but the storyline is broken. Problems sometimes arise with patterns such as that. However, this is also the authority of the individual writer that I'm looking for. So in other words, he likes to let them have somewhat free reign. In some cases, I, as the supervisor, adjust the parameters of the plots that are uneven. In the former case, adjust the storyline. And in the latter case, adjust the setting. We made this adjustment to protect the overall coloring of the work FGO. Well, that's how it goes in any producer position. David said, I've been doing this kind of work since I was involved in Honkai Star Rail III. We have talented writers, so our workload has decreased. Bet Nasu can't say that. However, Yakitori, the main scenario writer for the Star Rail series, had a hard time working on the Yomi scenario yesterday, apparently working until 2 a.m. As I said, please tell the scenario writer of Star Rail that once the story begins, there will be no time to relax. Everyone laughs. Nasu said, when I was working as a doujinshi, if 10 people saw my work, I only had to satisfy those 10 people. And conversely, even if all 10 people complained, I would just say, I was able to accept it. But as your title grows, more people will see your work. The number of users swells to 300,000, 600,000, then 1 million. And in the end, you receive the opinion of nearly millions of people at once, which is something you don't normally do. And I think the entire collapsed Honkai Star Rail team is in that kind of hell right now. Staff, work hard and be rewarded. So I'm actually going to start skipping some of the Star Rail stuff here just to kind of move on and be faster with this. It's just him agreeing with him and saying like, yeah, it's also happening in Star Rail. I want to ask how you create a live feeling that everyone can enjoy. I'd like to hear a little bit more details about how to create a managed title. I think both titles value the live feeling of stories being updated in real time. But how do they create the sense of unity among users? Nasu says, regarding the live feeling, I think it's more about determining the timing to make FGO the most interesting game. Instead of thinking this is popular now, so let's do it in FGO, I try to think of a time when I can be confident that if I do this within the flow of FGO, users will find it interesting. So in other words, he's not going to do some hip thing of the moment. He's going to find the right time to do it within the game. Regarding this, I try to think of mechanisms that will be more appealing to users who are more serious about playing FGO. For example, when you're saying, I'm not adding any new classes, you suddenly introduce a new class. Hey, chat, remember when he said that you're not getting any more beast servants? Yeah, that was a lie. And you all know it. Because he even, got called out by Takeuchi on it. And he was like, well, I'm technically telling the truth. So, straight up, again. This is why Nasu does these things on purpose. He's subverting your expectations so that he can all of a sudden, throw something out there and make you go oh, wow. Apart from that, seasonal events prioritize stability. This is an event that always occurs in people's lives, so I try to create something that always meets the user's expectations every time. Basically, David goes on to say that because they're a global operation, that's why we set the number of seasonal events to be less. In other words, they try to design events around their own, self-created, seasonal stuff, rather than hey, we're having a Christmas event. Star Rail doesn't have a Christmas event. It has its own version of I assume a winter festival or some crap. So again, that's kind of what they're trying to do. And you can see Nasu even goes oh, the Sea Lantern Festival. That's exactly right. And then he says another thing is PR aligns with the main story, blah, 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 blah. He goes on and tells numerous examples there. As David mentioned earlier, I think the only weakness in the Hoyoverse is that because we're expanding worldwide, we are unable to create events that are common throughout the world. In FGO, the event schedule is basically tailored to Japan, so we're able to promote the social interaction with domestic users. David said there was also a time we were thinking about implementing in-game events that matched reality, but when we decided to do it, we had to adapt the schedules around the world, so we gave up on it. Nasu says, even if we take the event of Christmas, the customs and visuals of Christmas are completely different depending on the country, so in the end, we have to adapt it to a specific country. In that case, it would be impossible to implement it because it would create a sense of alienation in countries that did not agree. So when looking at global expansion, I think Hoyoverse's style of declaring, this is our festival, based on the in-game worldview is correct, but I won't forget the meal delivery event. Nasu is so close to being right and so fucking wrong right here, chat. So basically, he's saying, hey, look, we just decided to tailor everything to Japan. David goes, yeah, but we're global and we decided not to do that. Nasu says, well, you can't please everyone, so we just basically did it for Japan. And then he goes, but yeah, if we were going to be global, it would probably be better to do Hoyo versus style. This is where Nasu is just completely fucking stupid and wrong. Everybody accepts the fact that it's a Japanese game and doesn't get angry at the fact that they celebrate things in a Japanese way. Everybody understands that. Nasu and David both do not get that. So that is, I think, the issue is David basically takes this approach saying that they want it to be global so that, like, it's not favoring anyone or anything like that. The reality is they just don't actually have engaging, like, Christmas events or summer events or things like that as a result, because things that every other gacha game would celebrate, they had to come up with their own unique version, which isn't bad in and of itself, but it doesn't give that same sort of, like, it's this time of year feeling that a seasonal event properly should. What I find really funny is Nasu's completely right until he makes this statement, because it's probably just him being nice, but it's also like saying that, oh, well, FGO is not really global, which absolutely is like Nasu to the 100th degree. This is exactly what we've talked about before with why, like, you guys haven't gotten localizations of the Fate series and stuff, is because Nasu just wants to keep everything in-house and make sure he has total control over it. He definitely finds that, like, translating to another language to be cumbersome, since he put such an emphasis on language in and of itself, on writing in and of itself. He doesn't want the work to be misconstrued in any way, shape, or form. It's really weird because it seems that he still even views FGO as a Japanese game, even though it has servers all over the world, which is just really fucking funny to me. So it's like, I think he understands and he may have just been trying to be nice here, but it definitely does not come across good right here. Are there boundaries to otaku culture? So, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is really not that important. It's them just waxing philosophic and them kind of pointing out and talking about that, like, oh, hey, we've actually noticed that, like, a lot of the, like, Hoyoverse designs are really popular in Japan as well, and we pay attention to that. And them saying that, like, they're more similar now than ever before. I did find this really funny because Nasu basically praises the design of Star Rail characters. Yeah, so from there it became apparent that the Star Rail design was perfectly sublimated, and anyone looking at it could immediately tell, oh, that's a star character. As I played Honkai Star Rail, I felt strongly that no matter what the character's taste, there was an archetype of Chinese design at its core. David thanks him for that, but then basically says, however, this is a point that they have a lot of trouble with. So Nasu pays them a compliment. David says, yeah, but this is actually a problem. And if you guys know anything about Star Rail and Genshin Impact, their own communities at this point have flamed them for the just utter similarity of a lot of the designs that they have. So, like, at least this is a good thing for them, because it shows you that the lead producer is acknowledging that. And he even says that basically during our long-term operations, we believe that this policy needs to be revised little by little. So they have to keep changing or else shit's going to get too stale. So he's acknowledging it, but I just find it really funny that Nasu praises them for it. And then David basically rebuffs it. He basically just says, like, yeah, no, it's actually a problem. Like our designs are too samey and we need to start changing them over time. And then Nasu kind of agrees with them and says, it's true because it's the standard, it loses its freshness. So if you just have a standardized design, everything gets samey. It's not, nothing is unique in that regard. Yeah, a lot of this is still just the same stuff over and over again. David said earlier that Chinese trends are similar to those that were popular in Japan a while ago, but I actually think that China is now at the forefront of otaku culture trends. One look at that and you'll instantly realize, yeah, this is what otakus love the most right now. I don't think that's the case. I think otaku still 100% love Japanese culture more than Chinese culture. And I think this is a misconception with Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail just being popular. It's not that the games are bad and that people like hate that type of culture or anything like that. It's sort of trying to equate a game's popularity to, oh, now the otaku culture is dominated by the Chinese. I don't think it is at all. Like, at all. I think if you look at otaku culture, like, the big thing in it, anime and idols. Like, far and away. And dear God, VTubers are now idols, and that is absolutely being dominated by the Japanese at the current moment. So, like, yeah, I don't really, like, think that that's actually the case. But, again, this could just be a case of Nasu just trying to be really, really nice. Scarlet, thank you for the 39. Bichojo-sama, thank you for the follow. And I think Moldy, if I didn't get you, thank you as well for the resub. This is just a personal feeling, but I feel like there isn't much of a difference between the two cultures now. And I think this is true that there's not as much of a culture gap as there used to be. He does a lot of like description of things here. Yeah, this is where he makes the comment about we're also paying attention to the fact that characters with such designs are widely accepted in Japan. And this is where, like, to me, David still comes across as a lot of what they're trying to do is make money. To be fair, though, David's a producer, Nasu's a writer. Like mentally, they come from different disciplines. This is like they just start waxing really philosophic over a lot of the stuff. This is really interesting. So basically, this is David saying that they share the reactions of the community to certain characters back with the character designers so that they can feel like appreciated and get good feedback, right? As characters that'll be implemented, it's a little bit more realistic. Characters have a mission to generate sales to some extent, but or so the basic design may differ depending on that. And see, this is what I don't like, is that like they will actually change their design to generate more sales, straight up. That's where I think, like, to me, and this is a me thing, certainly not the case for probably a lot of people that play Star Rail, but or Genshin for that matter. But for me, when I look at a lot of the MiHoYo characters, they feel like weaponized. They feel like they're somewhat hollow and that they're not very creative because all it feels like they're trying to do is just trying to make more money. That's all they feel like to me. And so I can easily see that that is somewhat of their like design philosophy kind of pouring through in this interview. So I do think they tried to do more with it, but I think that is all secondary to the character must make money. Do that, I'm constantly searching for a balance between sales and design. See, there you go. Like I said, I think this is a producer mentality as well. So I'm sure the character designers don't think that, and they just like try to make the best thing that they can. But I'm sure that some better designs probably existed that got rejected in favor of going with a like maybe more simplistic or obvious design that they knew would be more popular, right? So it sort of stifled some of the creativity in some ways. There are some characters that are created with relatively free spirit, with a light commercial purpose, and there are cases where characters are challenged to develop a character that has potential to open up a new customer base. So again, straight up, they're going after a fetish with the character. that's not uncommon. This is a gacha game, and any gacha game I think has this, but I find it really hilarious because this is the first time I've ever seen it said, ever seen it actually admitted to. For example, Aojaku, who always skips work, Katsura no Fu, who is always thinking about gaining more followers, Sampo, who always acts suspiciously, etc. Said, I remember that in Street Fighter 2, there was this discussion about why Zangief was included. The answer is, with Zangief, Ryu, who is average in size, shines even more. You can't just have characters that are loved by everyone. And chat, I'm going to apologize because I don't think this is translated right. Unless we create holes for sexual tendencies, the world's diversity will not be maintained. As a result, even the protagonist type, which can be said to be the least individualistic in a sense, gains characteristics. So what he's trying to say here is that by having Zangief in the game, Ryu, who is the big buff protagonist, looks a lot more normal because Zangief is just like even bigger and even more muscular than him. Well, in my case, the characters I used were Zangief and Dalsim, so Ryu and the others seemed more minor. So again, this is why I tweeted out what I tweeted out, that Nasu just confirmed right here that he is a Zangief and Dalsim main. So if y'all have ever gotten angry, like I saw there was a period right after Street Fighter 6 launch that like people were abusing the shit out of Zangief, yeah, maybe Nasu was one of them. maybe you got abused by Nasu. Speaking of that, we also have two types of characters that are needed in the main story: characters that are born out of necessity and characters that are born out of dreams. But more precisely, characters that are born out of desire. The recently completed wonderful masterpiece Dungeon Meshi talks about desire, and I think it's fair to say that dreams are desire. So that's also cool. Now we know that basically Nasu watched Dungeon Meshi. First, the former. Characters born out of necessity are personifications of concepts that should be expressed in each story. So again, he's not saying it's necessity for money like David is. He's saying we actually need this because like this is where the story goes, right? For example, Oberon and Tezcatlipoca from FGO are conceptual. After deciding I want to create a character for this kind of role, I place an order with an artist who I'm confident will be able to express the character. If something with a perfect score of 100 comes up, we'll respond to it as well. So in other words, basically, if the artist doesn't do exactly what they wanted them to, but they go like, oh, holy shit, that's amazing, they'll take it in place of it and they'll adapt. Where that, again, probably completely different from MiHoYo using in-house artists going, hey, we need this to make money. So it's a completely different concept, and I think this is why FGO's characters just look so much more creative. On the other hand, characters born from dreams and desires are born from the creator's thoughts. I want this kind of character. I want to see this kind of character. And when it comes to illustrations, it all starts with dreams and desires. Like, I want this artist to draw a child that I really like. Don't assume that as a literal child. I think that is like them saying like, kind of how like an artist is a parent and anything they create as a child. So it's like, I want this artist to draw a character basically that I really like. Because that definitely comes across as really weird and pedophilic. Nasu says, I think this is the reason why creators continue to produce great games when they become managers, is because they have their own desires. All humans have desires, but the vector of each desire is different. Broadly speaking, people want to be financially successful, be socially successful, live peacefully, be with the person they love, etc. Among them, creators in particular must have a desire to create their own ideal characters and ideal stories. As long as the management team has this attitude, I'm sure a good game will come out someday. David says, I think that no matter how big your company becomes, you should value your own desires. In fact, if you don't do that, you'll end up with something boring that's closest to the average. You should be true to your desires, even in the sense of aiming to be above average. The development team for Star Rail also creates content with the idea that if we like something else, someone else will definitely like it. And I'm sorry, I don't actually believe this line at all. Not based off his prior comments at this point. What I personally think is amazing about Hoyoverse is that even though they are conscious of marketing as a large company, they continue to pursue their passion as creators. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you're saying we're making adjustments while taking advantage of each character's unique characteristics. However, Type Moon is not completely free, and Takeuchi is in charge of the final safety lock that says, isn't that a bad idea? For 3 years now, I've been saying I want to dress up Passion Lip in a swimsuit, and I'm not really sure what he means by my lips are the best. I think he just means like Passion Lip is the best. But Takeuchi said, Kanoko, that's not right. The article interviewer says Meltrolith could have gone instead. Nasu says that's right. They have stopped me from applying for convincing. They've stopped me from applying for the convincing reason that they don't know if Passion Lip swimsuits will pass the screening process. But I plan to spend about another year trying to convince them. So this is Nasu basically saying that it's a thing. We've actually known about this. Nasu, at least as of Summer 4, had a line for Passion Lip wanting a swimsuit ever since then. So, yeah, it's still not a thing to this day. He's been trying for years, it would seem, and it's not been a thing. So he probably didn't try for it in Summer 4, but it was probably like Summer 5 onward, he's been trying. This is a form of selfishness, but characters created with love become more attractive. When I played Genshin and Star Rail, I was especially surprised by the passion that went into making them. I was not. I'm dead serious. Like, yes, I actually do believe this is the case with FGO. I don't believe this is the case with Genshin and Star Rail. I think there is some passion that goes into it, but I think the passion is more on the writing side, more on the artist side, less on the like, hey, this is what we want the design to be side. Whether it's the movement of the characters, the beautiful movie that decorates at the end of the event. As I watched it, I thought, no matter how big Hoyoverse is, everyone is passionate about it, so they don't cut corners. No, I think they do cut corners quite a bit. I think that's what everyone is passionate about at the moment. They're quite angry at them over it. Basically, creators can't betray their own passion and can't cut corners. Over the past 4 years, I've come to realize that this has led to the surplus. I don't think any company in the world can achieve this style of being a huge company, but with everyone being passionate. So this is also maybe, again, another slight at Type Moon and Aniplex and Losengle. I don't know, but it is what it is. David says, thank you. I'm very honored. It was a very valuable time to hear about their passion and commitment. Thank you for today. And this is now the interviewer talking from this point on, okay? At least I think. It's either that or it's David, but I assume it's the interviewer. Maybe all you can think about is Passion Lip swimsuits. Anyway, it was a conversation that we heard a lot between Type Moon and Hoyo versus Passion and Commitment. Well, in a sense, Passion Lip is also the embodiment of passion and commitment. After all, even from a player's point of view, the first thing I feel like when playing the works of both companies is the overflowing energy of the dreams, desires, passion, and love of an otaku. In fact, I think it's at the core part that strongly fascinates fans and continues to show dreams to us players. As I listened to this conversation, I was struck by the feeling that this game is made by people with so much passion, so it continues to inspire players to dream. I hope you will continue to enjoy passion created by the world's top otakus. I want us game fans to continue to see this kind of embodiment of dreams and desires. To put it simply, we're still waiting for supplies. And I would like all the pioneers to take this opportunity to experience the Fate series and Type Moon content. Furthermore, and I find it really funny that they don't say FGO there. Furthermore, I would like Type Moon fans and masters to take this opportunity to experience Honkai Star Rail, and suddenly I decided to check out the Missionary section. Both are great works, so please give them a try if you like. May your dreams continue to expand through this exchange of otaku culture. And if you know both titles, someday something good might happen. In other words, if you touch both works from now on, you might be able to have a dream as wonderful as Pinokuni. Please look forward to the next dream, not the next star. So they wrap it all up with another massive hint of a collaboration. It's very interesting to me, chat. It's a dream-based world? Yeah. To venture to Dream Vegas, I see. I doubt the collab will be in game. Well, we know Fate has collabed with other IPs before, so it might be like Fate Stay Night stuff going into Honkai, but like I'm gonna say this, I really like to a degree hope they don't, if only because then people that have quit playing FGO to go play Star Rail will feel justified if they do something like that. But I do find it rather interesting because a third possibility popped into my mind. Chat. Type Moon, Hoyoverse, Nasu, Dave Jung, lead writer and like content creator, lead producer. What if it's a completely new game? Type Moon hires Hoyoverse for a game. Yeah. Like, that would be really fucking weird and interesting. So, who knows what that would be? Who knows if that would be a gacha or a live service game? Maybe it would just be like a one-off. Or maybe it would be a gacha or a live service game. But that would be just really freaking interesting. And I would like to point out that they visited Type Moon. They didn't say they visited Lasengal. They didn't say they visited Aniplex. So, definitely very interesting. Another possibility that popped into my mind is you may see something like maybe David helps produce something in FGO. Maybe Nasu helps write something in Honkai Star Rail. So they could do a like swap, so to speak. But I do find, like, more than anything in this, and I know Honkai Star Rail and Genshin fans and FGO fans, we butt heads all the time. Like, each side tries to, like, shit on the other side. But this is at least showing that, like, the content creators, the people that actually, and I'm using this term broadly, right? Like, I'm talking about, like, people like Nasu, people like David that are, like, the heads of their companies, like, it is not a competition to them. They just want to run their own company and their own product as successfully as they can to various degrees. And that they have no problem talking with each other or collaborating with each other. And chat, you want to see this article's currently being read and the degree of attention? Look at that. Almost 15K users, almost 14K rather. Compared against like the next highest article only has 4,500 on their website at the moment. So interesting concept. Like, dear God, that would then make me shitting on MiHoYo all these times have to eat a whole lot of crow. That would also make all the freaking like stands of the MiHoYo games have to eat a lot of crow. Like, everybody would have egg on their face just for being an asshole. And this is why, like, to a degree, there's no point in just being, like, salty all the time. I will talk about, like, MiHoYo. I will talk about what I don't like about them. But I am fully cognizant and aware that, like, Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact are good games and people like to play them. They might not be for me, but, like, that's a me thing. That's my, like, opinion on it. And I don't really try to impress that opinion on other people. I may say my piece, but I just welcome people to think what they want to think most of the time. I may disagree with you, I may debate with you, but ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. Good idea, salt is for politics. Yep. Yeah, it's I mean, a little bit like FGO, like Fate fans versus Hoyoverse fans just reminds me of, like, it's like the stupid fucking console wars arguments. Like, who cares? Both our games are great. Both our games are shit. Like, each game has its own, like, terrible things that it does. I only point and laugh at Genshin once a year at their Annie. I don't even really point and laugh at Genshin. I point and laugh at the Genshin fans, right? Like the people that have been assholes towards the Fate fandom more than anything. And I've said this before. It's just like, I think, to me, how Genshin operates is pretty obvious to me at this point, especially as someone that looks at it from the outside. I think people kid themselves to a degree. And people could probably say the same thing about us, like that play FGO, that we're kidding ourselves with how FGO is going. I'm not. I'm pretty cognizant of it. You'll never forgive those who use the forbidden name. Well, those people are just assholes, and they're not humans, so. How are things going? Going pretty good, Void. FGO fans are borderline depressed. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty obvious, right? And they finally entered the dead season. No, we're gonna be in the dead season after the Lotto ends. I'm done with the Lotto, so I guess I'm in the dead season. I'm not. Don't believe that lie. But yeah, like I think it's just a thing. Did Nasu really say FGO is a simple system? Again, I can't really tell you like what exactly he said because I'm using Google Translate, but he did basically say that like FGO's I think like what he was trying to say is like that they didn't have anything that was like roguelike or something like that, right? Or maybe he was talking about the overall like structure of how they handle things and saying they have a much more simplistic structure behind the scenes. So again, if you've seen somebody like say that they were saying this or that, please understand, take it with a grain of salt. Genshin may be the MMO Nasu wanted. Oh, I don't know, right? Like that might entirely be possible. And I'm gonna say this: I think if you're a good creator worth your salt, so streamer, writer, game developer, you name it, right? You are a fool if you do not at least look at what your competitors are doing and like try to learn from that. So I should look at what other streamers are doing and try to learn from that. Writers should look at what other writers are writing and try to learn from that. Game developers should look at what other game developers are making and try to learn from that. So again, like I said, I'm not surprised at all to see that like they have a seemingly like good relationship when people in the fandom can't even get along. What if FGO2 is the Type Moon X MiHoYo collab game? I mean, that's possible, but I'm not going to assume something like that, right? Like, I think again, it is possible that that is what's going on here. That you have a lead producer and you have a lead like creative person, and they might combine their forces somehow. What form that could take is anyone's guess. So the sky could be the limit, or it may be something incredibly simple. So like, obviously, any number of possibilities are possible. Just don't like assume that it's going to be something, right? Like, there are heavy hints of a collaboration, and it's laid on thick at like 3 different points of the article. But beyond that, I assume there will be some form of collaboration now based off this. That's it. All I assume. Like, I make no assumption as to like what form it will take. And it may not be even anything that really is impactful. So we'll see. Imagine a new non-gacha Fate game comes from that. Yeah, it's possible. Or maybe just a new gacha, right? Like, get something good from your competition. Yeah. 3-week IRL cafe collab in Akiba. Yeah, and like that may be a thing too, right? Like they might do something in Japan and then like it's a complete nothing from our end, right? So it be what it be. All right, chat. You know the time. I actually spent way too long on that interview, but I wanted to read most of it for you. It's just, again, it's a case of like, I didn't read you every single thing, but it is still a a good thing to know about, to know that it's out there. And I wanted to give you guys my 2 cents because at least when it comes to things in the community, I typically have a more level-headed approach to things than most other people. Obviously, I have my things I can get excited and like animated about, but like, again, at the end of the day, I think it's just a simple case of like, I'm usually reasonable on certain things, especially with expectations. I'm not going to sit here and sell you on a lie and tell you like, oh my God, like Nasu absolutely said this and this is now going to be the thing going for. Like, you'll get people that'll say stuff like that for clickbait. I never really do that. I think to me, the excitement comes in the fact that there is an interview, not trying to like peddle some misinfo from the interview. Also, chat, we're going to be continuing off here. I probably need to kill my OBS. There we go. And that. I did continue playing a little bit before stream, but I didn't really get to do much. Just killed a couple things and it suddenly became nighttime. So, I am told that I should rest.
Stay calm now. 'Tis a ladder. Shall we see where it leads?
Although...
Oh, excellent find.
I don't know where my bro went. Also, what quest do I have here? In Dragon's Wake. Again, we talked a lot about the controversy currently on this game. I think the controversy is much ado about nothing. I don't think the microtransaction issue is really that big, and I think a lot of people don't really understand what's going on with this game. I do think criticisms about the game's performance are absolutely fair.
And endeavor to survive every battle by way of sound strategy and defensive tactics.
Hi, Celine. I don't know who the fuck you are. I'm not hiring you. So my only issue here is what happened to the
treasure chest. Shall we see if we can't make our way over to it?
What happened to the innkeeper? Because he's like supposed to be here. Like, did the innkeeper himself go to bed?
I've got wares of every ilk.
Okay, what do you got? Ring of Accrual. Sounds like accounting. Slightly increases the maximum amount of the weight that the carrier can carry.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Not buying? That's just as well. Better to be selective than wasteful.
I wish I knew your restraint arisen.
Fancy a gander? I find goods for sale. Fancy a gander? I find.
I do fancy a gander. So I have a decent chunk of cash. We already got the chainmail. It's what I'm currently wearing. I have no idea why certain things look pixelated in my game. It may be that I turned it down to like performance mode or something. Does she not have really good boots? I can get a coif. I can get a cap. A beseecher's hood. Oh no, I can't wear that. Looks like I can only wear the coif. And the best pants I can get are the workers' greaves?
Goods for sale.
I don't like that it immediately takes me out after I buy something.
Much obliged.
Okay. Now I think I'll go like... Whoops. I think I'll go resummon people. Because basically I've been told that if you resummon everybody, that like people level up. Okay, I'm not sure who Quelana is. Aha. Aha. I see. Already level 10, huh? And then who is this one? Wait, they didn't come up.
A grand adventure awaits us. I just know it.
Whose is this? Burning! Damn it, I can't use yours, Burning. Feels bad, man. Okay. I'm gonna summon.
Pray, call upon me again another time.
I'm gonna dismiss you. I, like, legitimately don't want to give you too much. The ripened apple?
I should only hope I serve to satisfaction.
Okay. Yeah, you're gone.
Is there aught this pawn might do for you?
Be gone!
'Twas a fine adventure we shared.
'Tis a pleasure to meet you.
Okay.
'Twill be an honor to serve by your side.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna pimp out AP's pawn. I'm gonna get my friends in here. I probably need to like find a way to like level 17.
We meet again,
Jesus
Arisen.
Christ, people! I like.
I'm well
This is
glad
like the
to be
second
traveling
hour I've gotten to play this game, and y'all are already like freaking level 20. Okay. Wait, did I actually hire her?
I shall inform you if I learn aught of worth.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I was gonna say it's really weird. Why is my character still glowing? So I don't really understand. Like I get that like
promising.
NPCs have time. Okay, so like maybe he like went for a drink or something.
Lodgings, and if you'd like to change your.
A good sleep will ensure we are prepared for the morrow.
Yes, I wish to be prepared for the motto. Look, chat, it's me. Oh, I've rested. Okay, I've got a travel log. Manifold were the lessons I learned on this journey. The Arisen drew mistrustful stares wherever we went. My perspective has broadened and I'm stronger for it. One person liked me. Yay! I had one person use me. I hate you all. Only one person used me. Pawn traveled with Alfred? Who the fuck is Alfred? Not even my friends. None of my friends used my pawn. Pawn quests? I guess... Earn pawn badge?
You'll not believe.
Okay.
A good sleep does wonders.
Come, we've much to be getting on with.
Feeling rested, I trust?
Yes, I feel rested. I also feel thick.
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
You see,
Shall
the
we see if
graphics
there's
get
aught to
better.
be found while we're here?
They actually get a lot better as I get like out of town. But
In another
just...
world, I learned that a forgotten riftstone lies nearby. Shall I escort you there, Master?
Forgotten riftstone? Yeah, how do I tell her yes?
I am attentive and loyal, and prefer to remain by your side. In battle, I shall follow your lead and prioritize support. Where ought we to go now?
I just want you to lead me to the thing you said you were gonna lead me to. I feel lied to now.
Master, if you're carrying around anything you don't need, there's no time like the present to rid yourself of it.
That's a good point. Let me combine. Okay, so I can make Salubrious Drought that way. Or that way. So it looks like berries or fruits will do the job. Oh, I made dried fruit. Sweet. Use it to cure the unconscious debilitation? What do you mean, unconscious?
Thinning our load will help to keep us light on our feet.
Okay. The only thing I'm wondering is I see...
Tis no more or less than what one might have expected.
Oh, was that it?
We
Was
cannot
it just
expect
the
gleaming
blueberry?
treasures round every corner.
Huh, okay. Your pawn is too positive? What do you mean, too positive? Are you saying that my pawn isn't calling you names constantly and, like, questioning your leadership? You're saying that my pawn trusts you and wants you to, like,
slow your feet.
have a fun time?
You run too fast for the likes of me.
Let us endeavor to keep up, though we
Okay,
are
no,
less
that was
fleet of
actually
foot.
realistic. I would definitely be like, holy shit.
I am a fighter by trade. Send me to the vanguard, where I might put my strength to full use.
No. How dare you attempt to, like, show up in my party anyways, Burning.
Do watch where you...
Hang in there, Master! I'm coming to assist!
I feel like I just run out of stamina so easy. Maybe I'm, like, over encumbered, but it doesn't feel like it. Oh, maybe because I'm I have the laborer's trousers. Yeah, I probably should have gotten rid of those. Who are you? Talk to me.
I shall be proud to serve you, Arisen.
Okay. I have no idea who you are. It's really weird. There's like an icon for this place on the map, but I don't know if it's like a campsite or like something else. There's like a banner here. But to me, this looks like it's like a graveyard or some crap. So you can pick people up and you can just absolutely take your pawns or NPCs and throw them in the water. Ah. Why did they want me to come to this location? It's like everyone here is dead.
So, this is Melv. The scars left by the dragon's assault are plain to see. Mayhap a walk through the streets would help jog your memory.
Yes, I wish
when
to go
the Arisen
jogging.
appears, so too does the dragon.
Oh. Yeah.
Well met.
Dudley. Makeshift jowl key. Fulminous shield. Reading it, cast the spell High Thundermine. Wrenching arrow. Ring of aggression. Wait, to those whose spirits resonate with its magic, boost strength. Holy crap, these are expensive. Knocked down or staggered, that could be nice.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Actually, wait, I want to see if I can, like, talk with them.
If you're looking to buy, just say, why not buy your wares here today? Pleasure
Okay, never
doing
mind, that was a mistake. Should have known that a merchant would only want to talk about business. Okay, I cannot cut that. Oh.
Shackled by a foul curse and robbed of all memory.
Okay. Oh.
Hast thou forgotten thy destiny, thy charge?
I assume that's like the dragon talking to me.
That is most unfortunate. But it doth not release thee from thy fate.
Hey yo, waifu. I like the chin clipping there. Okay, that's it. That's all I had to do. Go smack its toe a couple times. Okay, the waifu was there. Shit. Oh damn, my face got burned. What? So, like, I get that the story of Dragon's Dogma is the dragon eats your heart and you become the Arisen. I just want to know, like, does this just keep happening? And why?
Thou art arisen. Charge and
Like, why the motherfucking dragon gotta keep doing this? Like, is it the only way for the dragon to die? Wait, that's Millennia. I've played this game before.
Can you hear me, sir? Sir, stay with me.
Because you taste good? Are you saying I taste like chicken? Well, at least they took the helmet off.
Thank goodness. How are you feeling?
Horny.
This is the second time I've watched over you like this, isn't it?
I don't know, is it?
You do not remember? Then have you forgotten that you protected me from the dragon's flames?
Sure.
You withstood the fire in my stead and were well and truly charred. 'Twas terrible. I had thought your life forfeit. I could not hear the beating of your heart. But you hung on and by some miracle survived.
It's because I'm arisen.
Arisen? I'm afraid I don't understand your meaning.
I'm afraid I don't like your facial expression. Holy crap, that looks stiff as shit.
Does it have aught to do with why you were taken to the castle? They said 'twas so that your wounds could be treated, though I fear you have no memory of this either.
I am of the Border Watch. Someone with arisen-like abilities came to this village, horn in tow. Know you aught of this?
No.
Has he come for you? We are to part so soon, then. Mayhap you will visit me again someday. Till then, take care.
Ah, medieval times with no bras.
Ah, excellent. You must be the one. You match my soldier's description. I'm glad I found you. The ruler of Vermont, currently convalescing in the capital, became arisen here in this very village. If you claim the same, then word must be borne to the capital. I dispatched a missive before coming here, though I doubt the matter can be settled without your presence. Would you be willing to accompany me to the capital? If you truly are arisen, you will be received with open arms. Oh, but forgive me. I scattered my soldiers in a bid to find you. I would not depart without them. We shall have to wait till they are reassembled.
Okay. I didn't realize you broke them apart.
Come to think of it, Sir Leonard was asking after you as well.
Purse, thank you for the resub.
Mayhap now
How you
would be
doing?
a good time to speak with him. Last I saw, he was having a drink at the inn.
Sir Leonard.
We may benefit from pursuing the information.
Good day, sir.
Hi. Okay, you have nothing more to say. Gifts. Okay. Everyone has a preference. Oh god, you can only increase it once per day. That is gonna get annoying. Is that a chest? No, that's not a chest. Two minutes and 30 ads was not fun. I apologize for that on behalf of Twitch. Dude, my character
One can
waddles.
see far to the distance from here.
I'd gladly cast aside my weapon and laze about here.
I got a
if
fluted
the Arisen
bow.
will permit it.
Right you are.
Oh, so this is what they shot me down with.
This is a powerful weapon. A single bolt loosed from it would carry tremendous lethal force.
This is a
It is not how we
powerful
use
weapon.
this, but when that counts. I imagine it would be most beneficial in combat.
Okay, so I can slide down this. How does this go? Aha, the roof. Aha, the bed that I was sleeping in. Aha, loot.
Peril can result from a moment in cool. Well, you ought not strain yourself. Not in your current state.
Ulrika?
Those burns could easily have killed you outright. I expect 'twill be some time before you fully recover.
Yeah. Why is she so sultry with how she says things? Yeah.
Might that be a wakestone shard? How lucky we are to have stumbled across one.
We
Okay.
ought to keep it with care, lest we lose it.
So I think the wake stones are how you resurrect people. I want to say. Let me quickly run up here. Let's see. Aha! Fulgurous Lord, Winter's Path, and Threshing Blade. I have no idea what those were that I just picked up. Oh, okay, game. Okay, camera.
I have a knack for gathering items and am ever on the hunt for new finds.
I did not select to talk to you. Thank you.
Might I interest you in my humble wares?
Yeah, let me see what you got. Beast steak? Ring of deflection? Ah. What I wear all the time when chat wants to ask me a question I don't want to answer. Okay, let's sell my trousers. The bow is likely heavy. Rotten scrag of a beast. Dried flour. Bro, it feels like stuff like goes bad so fast in your inventory. High Salamander, a fire spell. High Frigger, an ice spell. High Levin, a lightning spell. Sweet. So I'm actually really glad I got those then. I think I can sell that eventually, but it's not very heavy, so I'm just gonna like keep this with me until I get to the capital. So I assume my inventory weight is being weighed down as well by like how heavy I am.
Much obliged,
Like
sir.
sorry, the gear that I'm wearing. That's a bespoke bow. At like 190. I'm gonna assume that's a little bit stronger than the bow that I have. Yeah, fluted bow is 125.
This is a riot.
So wait, no, I'm not trying to murder you. I
Might
just pulled my
interest
sword
you
out.
in my humble wares?
Okay. I'm just gonna sell the fluted bow. I mean, maybe I should have kept that,
Hope to see
but I
you
actually
again.
have no idea.
Good day to you.
Can't say I've any tidings to share.
Not even good tidings?
There's a ladder here.
After you, Arisen.
Did I go all the way up to the roof of that? Yeah, I did. Okay, that's a stone. Tristan's Inn.
Well met. You're the one who saved Ulrika's life, aren't you?
Bro, what is with that hair?
She told me all about it. It was a very brave thing you did. I'm in your debt. Ulrika's as good as my daughter. Here, consider this a small token of my gratitude.
Your daughter's hot.
Now, tell me, are you registered with a guild? Perhaps you already know this, but registering with a guild will grant you access to specialized training, which comes in very useful. Well now, that won't do. You need only speak with the innkeeper. Go on, 'twill only... If there is aught you wish to know of vacations, mayhap I can advise you.
Yeah, how do I take a vacation?
'Tis a vacation for those who seek to master the sword and shield. Fighters favor a balanced... I am a fighter myself, and should there come a time when you impress me with your prowess, I might be willing to impart unto you some of what I know. Very well. There is no wrong choice in any case, but I shan't take up any more of your time. Pray.
Okay, the Maester's teaching. The Maester's teaching is the most powerful skill that can be acquired with each vocation. Learning a Maester's teaching requires the use of a special tome, which you will receive if you impress the vocation Maester of your abilities. However, the true potential of the skill can only be realized by those whose vocation rank is high enough. And that dude is him.
Here at the inn, we also offer changes of vocation for those who seek. I get so few customers, you see, that I can manage both roles myself. But enough about me. Did you need something?
Organize storage. Let's deposit literally everything that I cannot immediately use or is not immediately can also receive the same effect. Increases the weight one can carry. May as well keep that, but you know what? No, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in because I suspect that I'll be able to like make that into a drought or something. Okay, all of that is equipped. Yeah, it looks like I'm just getting penalized for wearing a bunch of heavy gear, which is understandable. And that's that. Okay, all manner of vocational procedures can be carried out in the guild hall of a vocation guild. Changing vocation. If you've unlocked a vocation, you can change it at any time. Unlocking new vocations requires discipline, which is accrued when defeating enemies and completing quests. Each vocation trains different skills, and you'll be able to learn new skills as your ranking... as your rank within the vocation rises. Learning skills requires discipline. Core skills can be employed from the moment they are acquired, but weapon skills must be equipped before they can be used. Augments are special abilities that can be equipped regardless of your current vocation. Augments are acquired by spending discipline and are active from the moment they are equipped. You can equip up to 6 augments at once. A broader variety of augments will become available as your vocation rank increases. Okay, so let me read that again. Core skills can be employed from the moment they are acquired, but weapon skills must be equipped before they can be used. Okay. They have Blink Strike. Oh, so this is going to be like LB plus X is what does that. And then Airward slash. Sailing flying targets. Knock targets off balance. Crack the tension. Okay, so that's my taunt. So I can get at least 2 of these. Okay, there's shield bash. I'm gonna get the air word. And I'm gonna, like, we'll get shield summons, but I'm gonna save that for when I actually need it.
Always a pleasure.
What vocations are you looking at? Right now I'm fighter, but I'm probably gonna progress into warrior, like war.
Come with me to the village
warfare.
entrance. The watchhead's waiting for you.
Shall we seek some answers?
Oh, have you some business with the apothecary, sir? Dreadful. Oh, no, I'm not lost or naught, sir. I'm an apothecary in training, you see. My family runs a little shop in Vernwood. So when I heard tell of a medicine only to be found in this village, I thought I'd come and fetch some for us. But, well, as luck would have it, I've not enough gold. 'Twill be a shame to return empty-handed after coming all this way.
I am not giving this child money.
What? You do suppose there's no harm in that? Seems my luck's not as rotten as I thought. I'll wait right here for your...
We could make the fruit roborant ourselves, or simply purchase some at Rune's apothecary here in...
Okay.
At last, it all becomes clear.
What all becomes clear? What clear it all become? Okay, I got you some
tarry,
rubric.
but deliver what we have retrieved post-haste.
Hello again, sir. Say, have you brought some fruit roborant for me?
Yes. I brought you a
So
shrubberant.
this is what it looks like. I haven't much to offer in return, but I'll be sure to tell Grandfather what you did for us. He'll want to
'Twas a pleasure to recount such good tidings.
Ah, how nice.
Well met, sir. How might I be of...
Okay, why does the apothecary sell throat cutters? Like, hold on. Ah, damn, I could have had my, like, pot helm. Oh, that's, like, super weird. Can I not? Oh, okay, I can't equip that. I was gonna say, I was like, why is it doing that? So, Chad, do I need to equip my, my companion, like, with stuff as well? Or does, like, his gear not matter? Yo, napped leather boots? Wait, a soft neck wrap? Is that, like, not my helmet? Is that just a wholly separate thing? Oh, it's a cape. I see. Ring of exaltation. Holy crap, this dude sells a lot. Equipped.
Do come again.
This might be worth a read.
It couldn't hurt to take a peek.
You really ought to have returned.
Speak your will and I'll see it done.
Yeah, how do I equip you?
Ready to tackle today's adventures, Arisen? I'm full of vim myself.
Oh man, I would never say that. That's totally unrealistic. There is never a point at which I get up and I'm energetic. That is the complete contrary and opposite. of how I be. Chat, how do you equip your guy? Does anyone know? Like, it feels like I'm doing it wrong. Cause like he can't see anyone else's inventory. Like I can't equip the headpiece to him. No one knows. Even though I know I have like at least 2 people in here that play. He needs it into his inventory? Yes, I already established that. How do I get it into his inventory? Like, can I like send it to him somehow? Oh, give. Okay. Let's go. I now look like a proper English villain.
What am I to do?
Shira, thank you for the gift sub. Appreciate it.
Mayhaps it's time I went
Oh my god. Yeah, I look as stupid as my character, like, as I thought my character
Is
would.
that you, Norbert? Oh, fie. Wait, listen. Would you brave fool said he was going to look for Herb? I'd go and search for him myself, only... I'm not afraid of monsters, which would hardly help anything if I... So I thought, mayhap you go in my place. Please, sir. I worry for my brother. Many thanks. Go into the forest and turn when you reach the tree with the bird's nest, keeping the cliff to your right. Ah, this won't work, will it? I could see the route in my mind's eye, but my feet know it better than I do. But my brother and I are the only ones who use that. I suppose there's only one thing I'll have to show you. Just be alert. I'll need you to watch over me, keep me safe. Right. In we go then. My life's in your hands, friend.
You're literally gonna make me regret not taking the taunt immediately. AFK, thank you for the 57. Harder for me to prime sub. I had to hunt for it. I see, of course they did. Because you should spend your actual money and not something free, right?
Wish I didn't have to work to earn my bread.
They don't want you using benefits or anything like that.
You've returned. Good. First and foremost, will you accompany me to my thanks? Are you ready to depart, or do you need some... Very well. Speak with me.
Like, the fact that he actually ambushed me there is wild.
I've just had a thought. Every master I've ever served has favored different tactics. One party I joined consisted only of ranged specialists.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
Only ranged specialists, huh, Prophet?
Seems naught ever goes right.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
I'm sad you can't just, like, climb up stuff. I kind of get it, but...
Materials such as this can be combined to craft things.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
Wait, where'd my bro go? Okay, there he is. I was gonna say. I was like, oh shit, did he go off on his own? Did I just fail the escort to go loot a twig?
Not an enemy in sight. I'm almost disappointed.
No.
I'll take the peace and quiet over a horde of enemies any day.
I don't trust that.
This is a good spot. Let's stop here a moment. I've camped here with my brother many a time.
My knowledge from other worlds tells me that a forgotten riftstone lies near here. Shall I lead the way?
Yes. Yes, lead the way. Like, What freaking forgotten riftstone are you talking about? Riftstone will be restored. You'll be able to use the restored riftstone to summon unique pawns of different nature to those that can be summoned in town. A high-level pawn will be summoned. A single high-level pawn will be summoned, after which the rinstone will disappear. You'll be able to hire this pawn without paying any rift crystals. Okay. I still don't see it. Imagine that crafting. Yeah.
Now, what might that be?
Let us ponder how best to proceed.
What might what be? Okay. Wait, Lana, how did you fall down here? Why are you stupid?
I'd wager our merry band can handle whatever comes.
Onward! Adventure awaits!
You have my support.
Okay.
Look, Master! Goblins!
We have no means of exploiting our enemy's weakness.
That's the spirit! We've earned ourselves a pat on the back.
Yes.
We mustn't allow ourselves to become complacent. Take each trial as it comes.
Okay. I already like having more weapon skills because I just
You'll
feel
like to
more
grow
like
overburdened if you keep picking up every
maneuverable.
little trinket you find.
Listen, you shut the hell up. You stupid pawn. We're loot whores. You better get used to it.
Say, weren't we tasked with another errand that sent us somewhere near here?
'Tis worth considering, if we've the time.
Were we tasked with another errand that sent us near here? I don't think we were. Destructible bridges. Collapse if you destroy their support stakes. You can use this to entrap your foes by luring them out into the middle of the bridge and sending them plummeting to their doom. Several ends of these bridges can be climbed like ladders. Okay. But the problem is then you can't cross the bridge. At least not like until it fixes itself.
A treasure chest. Oh, I can hardly wait to open it.
Let us hope your curiosity will be rewarded.
I've got to try, chat. Ow. Okay. I think I actually can make that, though. Oh! Whoa, what is that?
Let my magic be your weapon with the fury of the elements. You are in need of healing. Allow me.
Be gone, thought. Okay. That was unexpected. Also, I thought she was gonna heal me, and then she never did. All because I wanted some grapes. I got graped in the mouth.
Oh, I can't wait to find out what's inside.
Oh, god damn it! Oh, god!
I'll hold the enemy in place.
Not a bad idea.
I didn't realize there were more.
Ah, I'll take that. We might find a use for it.
Yo, 1,500 gold worth. Looks like I got a debilitation though.
Take this. It is something I found. I wanted you to have it.
I'm hard. But if I get tarred again, chat, does that make me retard?
Look, Master, a treasure chest. We shall have to find a way to reach it.
Wait, where? Where do you see a treasure chest? I mean, that's an open treasure. Oh god, it's gonna make the jump.
Hold fast, Arisen. I will be with you in but a moment.
I don't know what she's casting, if that's like a stamina up or something. Hey, Quaylana, you might want to come down here. Okay, there's my dude. Who can somehow, like, sprint the entire way to everything.
It's rather valuable, this.
A fitting reward for a rigorous search.
I'll give you a rigorous search. I probably shouldn't keep exploring like this, but like... I got Age Scrag of Beast from it. Oh, you can just make dried meat. Sweet. Ripened grapes. Okay. Mincemeat. Okay. Well, that's some kind of enemy there. Probably hard to run without a heart. You know, you're not wrong. Also, I don't like the fact that my character just like yeeted itself there.
Master, my heart knows no greater peace than when I'm by your side.
Oh, I see. Oh God!
Can anyone hear me? Please! I need help!
Shut up, Norbert. Let me control my character.
Let my magic grant you an elemental wound. I will protect you. I merely did as duty demands.
Oh, I like that.
What the fuck? That thing just like went flying.
That was superb,
I'd thought I was done for.
Hit up on the D-pad and they'll lead the way? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I was wondering how to get it to do that.
How are you feeling?
I think I'll be all right. But if you hadn't come for me, I...
Save your thanks, Norbert. I'm your brother.
From where I'm standing, all that matters is that you made it in time. Anyway, I'm
Doesn't
eager
matter
to be
that you're
rid
my
of this
brother.
place.
It matters that you're
Let's
timely.
return to the village, shall we? The sooner the better. I've got to deliver these medicinal...
Ah, you'll hear no complaints from me.
Let us take every precaution that we might see our charge delivered safely.
Precaution? Safe? What do you mean?
Sir Norbert has been found, and none the worse for wear. Let us return him to Mel at once. Pray, allow me to show you.
The vanguard is yours. Lead on.
Are those like bones? Beasts? Yeah.
A smashing success.
Smash it!
Once more!
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
No harm in picking a few.
What? What? No, what?
I grant you roaring flame. Well said. Focus your strength, Griffin.
Okay. No.
This brute has quite a temper.
Might we not use their range to our advantage?
Oh God! Oh God! Let me off! I like being able to climb on enemies, but holy shit!
This bow is beyond our strength. I recommend a swift retreat.
Let me think on that.
No. One of the targets my own master. I should like to see it done. Plenty of that.
Let us see what you're made of. Almost done.
Oh, I stabbed him.
To bring it down.
Strike fast and true, and our glory shall fall. Well done.
Oh, looks like hitting him in the head is really dangerous. Really dangerous. Or, damaging.
It is done. Thank you. I'm overjoyed to have completed the task.
We did it! I killed a thing!
Oh, I like
don't even know
that.
what the thing was. Oh, I got a wizard's hat and a misshapen eye.
You'll like to grow overburdened.
I want this
picking up
club.
every little
Yeah,
trinket
I
you
want this
find.
club. Okay, so I got a wizard hat. Yoda had a wizard. Oh, I have a ring? Oh, sweet. Equipped to left hand. I didn't realize I had a ring. What happened to the misshapen eye? So that's a thing. Is the wizard hat better than it? Probably not. Yeah, it's definitely not. Congrats on the thing and stuff. Thank you. I feel accomplished. I feel like I did a thing. I have now committed murder of what was probably a peaceful and humble creature that did not want to be disturbed. Let's do it again.
I'll gather this. It might be of use.
Guys, is there any way to tell, like, what time of day it is? Can I see, like, in here somewhere?
This is an
Gran, I want to learn magic, please.
This again, child. There are plenty of things more to say.
Why must you always take Father's side? I'd have thought you'd understand how I...
Uh-huh.
What I can do for you?
What am I to do with that girl? Would that I could allow her to do as she pleaseth.
I like how my character just, like, went and looted the rune crystals.
Why won't they let me stop?
Tisn't fair. I agree. Let me go check out this other room. Oh, look, another chest. Let me loot it. Ironclad staff. You would have to look up and check on the sun? What sort of medieval shit is this? What do you mean, check on the sun? Ooh, an apple.
And here I was, hoping for some great treasure. Now I feel a fool.
We cannot expect gleaming treasures round every corner.
I like how it died in such an awkward position. Oh my god, it's like got rigor mortis.
I've just recalled. I found a treasure chest near here during my travels beyond the rift. May I show you to its location? One moment. I believe we are bound for... Yes, I know the place. Follow me, Master. I shall guide you to the location.
I suppose we ought to make for our destination.
What? Okay.
We have reached our destination. Sir Norbert has been found, and none the worse for wear. Let us return him to Melv at once. Then follow me. I'll lead the way.
The vanguard is yours. Lead on.
Wait, where are you going? I don't know if she's like leading me on the quest or she's just straight up like sprinting. All I know is she's way too damn fast for me.
Sunset draws near.
Where we do not fall prey to enemy ambush.
I like the overall, like, mission-driven vibe of this game.
This seems a decent spot for a campsite.
Perhaps a short rest would do us good.
No, I think we can get back before dark. Granted, being able to camp might save me some money.
If memory serves, there is another place we were to visit not far from here.
Perhaps we ought to go there first. What say you, Arisen?
No. Can I kill the pig? Okay. Got me meat. It is a very beautiful game. I have to admit that. And I have the graphics at least like set to performance mode, so like it's still pretty good even for this.
That was an ordeal.
Aye, I'm exhausted.
Good on you. You wonder why I don't follow him? So long as he stays away from that forest. When my brother told me he was going to fetch those herbs, I refused to join him. Said it was too dangerous, and I was right. But mayhap none of this would have happened had I only gone with him. My brother is always the one taking the initiative, while I stand around with my hands in my pockets. But today's misadventure showed me that the path
but you
forward
saved his life.
is the one with fewer regrets. Even when you can't be sure where it leads. We managed to save Norbert, and perhaps that's all that matters. Still, I can't help but wonder if I couldn't have spared him some of the pain and fear he suffered. If I'd only steeled myself sooner. So from now on, I'm going to trust in my own instincts. Ne'er again will I let fear stop me from doing what I know to be right.
No, that wouldn't be trusting your instincts. Like, listening to fear is an instinct.
With Sir Norbert safely returned, Mel shan't lack for medicinal herbs. Two good deeds in one, you might say.
Make haste, then. We must leave anon.
What? I'm not anon.
Very well.
This isn't 4chan.
Speak with me once you've...
Okay. I think he gave me a cloak. He did. Equip the cloak. Alright, we're looking right proper and adventure-y now. We even have a ring as well, so I am content with this. Chat, it is past 11 and it is the weekend, but I still have to work tomorrow, so unfortunately this is one of my work weekends, and thus I must end here for you all. So let me see who all is on, if there's anyone that I know. You guys over Guru's way. He's actually on tonight. I haven't gotten to raid him in a bit. Again, I will probably stream tomorrow unless I'm just exceptionally tired. I feel exceptionally tired right now. But we'll probably do more Dragon's Dogma. We'll see though, because like I would like to actually like get my teeth into this game, because so far I've just played in like an hour stint each time. But again, like I said, just stay tuned. I don't know when I'll go live tomorrow, but I'll let you guys know via Discord. So if you guys haven't already, get on the Discord. You can find the link by typing in !Discord on the channel, either case. And again, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and if not, Monday. Hope to see you guys later. Have a good evening, and go give Kelly your my love.